Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special Pro Soccer Talk Live, a watch-along for the big one, the World Cup final, Argentina against France. Gents, what a day, what an occasion. Delighted to say I'm your host, Joe Prince-Wright, over here in England for this. As always, joined by Nick Mendola in Buffalo, New York, and Andy Edwards in Kansas City. Gents, massive, massive game. Obviously, we talk about the lineups and talk about the start of the game. But, Nick, how are you feeling? Because I know you in particular are a huge Messi fan, have been for decades. So this is the big one for him today, isn't it?
Oh, it's just so big, and it's bigger than it probably both not big enough that we're talking about. Like, we're not talking about it enough, but also like, man, is this going to get overemphasized? And these are the games, right? These are the days that you circle, and you know the storylines will be there afterwards. You know they're there now, and you're just hoping to be entertained. You know that the tension will be there. But I think we could see one of those games where there's 4 or 5 goals. Of course, that means 0-0 in penalties. But I don't know about you guys. I think we'll see a bunch of goals today.
Oh, absolutely. Andy, what about you, mate? As we see the national anthems being belted out by Argentina and France, tension, passion, it's all there, right? And again, Messi and Mbappe, that superstar battle, that will come to the fore as well, isn't it, today?
Yeah, this is it's a crossroads moment, I think, in the history of the sport. Obviously the handing of the baton is a phrase that's been used a million times this week, but it is so perfect. It is so fitting that Messi and Mbappe face off with one another. Pretty inarguably, I think, the two best teams at this tournament as well. It took Argentina a little bit of time to get going. France maybe sputtered a little bit late in the group stage, but on the whole, the two best teams. And to see them face off head to head for a World Cup, all the history that's going to be involved in this game, it'll be one of those moments 20 and 30 and 40 and 50 years from now. I will remember I sat here in this chair in this office, talked to you two wonderful gentlemen from very, very far away in the world, and we witnessed something historic, whether it's France and Mbappe winning a second World Cup trophy at 23 or Messi capping off, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people's opinions, the greatest career ever with a World Cup trophy. Whatever happens today, it's going to be historic.
Absolutely is, right? We'll get onto our predictions and all that good stuff, but we're going to talk about the team news now. Obviously, the big news, Nick, for Argentina is that Angel Di Maria, he's starting a more attacking kind of lineup there for Argentina. Obviously, Tagliafico is keeping his place at left back ahead of Acuna. And then for France, I guess the big decisions were Upamecano's back in for Canate after his illness. Rabiot's back in as well. So it's kind of the strongest team, right, for both of these nations going into the World Cup final.
Yeah, this is something where, yes, there is depth for both teams. There are players that can affect the game, but from moment one, you should both see a team that's comfortable in their positions, a team that is as comfortable as you're going to be on a stage such as this. And honestly, I feel like Di Maria has been that sneaky legend, as goofy as that sounds. Especially for Argentina, and a guy who can show up at any stage and deliver. On the same hand, I would be a little bit nervous if I'm France, because I think Canate was phenomenal in the last time out there, and a difference maker in a game where France ultimately really needed to hold on. So kind of interested where you guys are at in terms of not what you want to happen, what you guys think is going to happen.
Andy, what do you think? It's prediction time now as we're just about to kick off in the World Cup final. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll stick with the 2-1 to Argentina that I had the other day. And the only thing I'll say in the lineup is I'm curious to see how Di Maria is going to operate, because he will slow play down just a little bit for them. And maybe that is intentional. Maybe they feel they need that to slow France down just to bring everyone else into the attack with him.
So prediction time then. What are we doing? You guys both went for Argentina, I think, before this game. Are you sticking with that, Nick?
Yeah, and I'm sticking with Andy. 2-1 to Argentina. I don't know. I just have a feeling there's a little bit of fate in the air.
Absolutely. I'm going with France still. I went with them. I just think there's something about this team that have just been workmanlike throughout the tournament. It hasn't been spectacular at times from the French, but they're just getting the job done. So let us know in the comments section who you think is going to win the World Cup final. We're off and running in Qatar. And again, a reminder to everyone out there, you can watch in the USA in Spanish across our NBC platforms on Peacock and on Telemundo. And you can watch in the USA in English on Fox and their channels as well. So yeah, just to let you know, pull up one of those streams, have that on mute, have us giving you commentary throughout the game and sending your questions. We're all here together for this momentous occasion. So send your questions, and Nick, Andy, and I will do our very best to get to all of your comments and questions so far. Some good ones coming in. One last chance for Messi. Mbappe against Messi. Messi, you're the best. I mean, we're going to see a lot of that today, obviously, but it's yeah. Nick said it there, Andy, in terms of sort of the importance of this. I mean, just looking at the kits, the blue and white for Argentina, the blue for France, it's iconic on so many levels, and it's going to be something, like you said as well, we're going to remember for a long time, this final, no matter what happens, whether Messi or Mbappe prevail and their respective teams prevail.
Yeah, and the great thing is it feels like both of these teams are, and all of the star figures involved, incredibly likable. How often do you have, and it's great to have the heel and the face against one another, but to have a couple of teams and superstars that are so just as famous as Messi and Mbappe are, they seem incredibly down to earth, or at least they have a very good understanding of how to not make themselves seem like jerks in the public. And so they just make it very, very easy to root for them. And so again, there is no bad outcome to this World Cup final. There is nothing to root against. There are only good things to root for, I think.
Yeah. Do you agree with that, Nick?
I do. I think there could be as physical a contest as we are a skillful a contest, and both teams obviously very starting as if we haven't mentioned, we're playing soccer now. I think we have. Joe has been you've been someone who has pointed out the importance of those opening moments at times, and that you do get a vibe as to when people come out of the gates as to how they're feeling about the sport. It's something that you often mention in your Premier League coverage, or where you're tweeting about those early moments. And I just can't help but be magnetically drawn to every single thing about this game. Like there is so much to look at with, like, not just with likable players, and obviously the legacy players, but somebody today is going to show up and lock themselves down as making an all-time moment in the history of the most popular sport in the world.
And I just want to say, welcome to the World Cup finals of Lionel Messi there, because Upamecano towered over him, elbow into the back of his head, a free kick given to Argentina on the halfway line. But that's what we call a little reminder there, I think, from Upamecano. Just, yeah, I'm here. You may be the greatest player of all time, but I'm not going to give you the World Cup easy today in the final. And just left a bit on him, right, as centre-backs would say. And Messi's probably going to, well, he's not. He's no stranger to that kind of challenge from a centre back over the years, but that will liven him up a bit. But Argentina have had a lot of the ball early on, a nice long pass out to the left to Di Maria, who they're looking to a lot. Lovely bit of touch. Goes down the left, Di Maria, taking on Jules Koundé, which seems like a bit of a mismatch there. Koundé is obviously not the most comfortable at right back, Andy, but you know, he can play there and it's done okay at spells in this tournament, but he's also a bit vulnerable. So Di Maria up against him, maybe that's why they picked to start him.
And I think it's why he's on the left right now as well. A lot of this tournament, he's played over on the right side. And so he's playing a bit more of as a winger, looking to cross the ball into the box. Obviously, Julian Alvarez has proven inside the penalty area, pretty good finisher at this tournament. So I imagine we'll see him go back and forth from side to side. He'll look to get inside from the right there. But tactically, a lot going on for Argentina early on, for sure.
Yeah, and they're looking to get the ball out to him all the time. And the ball's dropped. And Alexis McAllister, the Brighton and Hove Albion midfielder, has had a strike and straight down the throat of Hugo Lloris, saves it. Oh, the ref just took a little bit of a tumble there, but he stayed on his feet somehow. That was Matrix-esque there, how he managed to avoid going down. But Mbappe's got it on the left now. Back to Hernandez. I just want to say, I did put Hernandez in my pre-tournament team of the tournament, so I'm feeling okay about that. He had the one mistake against England to give away the penalty, but scoring in the semi-final, obviously coming in for his brother as well after that injury. Just watched him for Milan a lot this season and very adventurous going forward. But defensively, that is somewhere maybe Argentina can get behind it. But I think he's had a very good tournament. So
also an England team, by the way, who was really good, really good at times. And sometimes a really good attack will force players into mistake or make things that maybe weren't necessarily mistakes look like even bigger ones because you punish teams. And as time will go by, and this isn't just me making up for all the jokes I made during the tournament to make Joe feel all the pressure. As time goes by, England's going to look back on this tournament as one where they performed really well and ran into a finalist who won the World Cup last go around.
I know. So thanks for making me feel better. I appreciate that. It's been just over a week on, and it's still, on a day like today, you're thinking, oh, what could have been? What would England have been like today? But it is, we'll get on Pro Soccer Talk on NBCSports.com after the World Cup. We'll have our team of the tournament, our awards. So look out on the site for that and across NBC's platforms on YouTube and elsewhere. Nick's been in charge of asking us for those. And yeah, I did feel when we were talking even about the 2026 World Cup winner who could maybe win it, felt a bit strange saying that England, maybe have a chance. But with Gareth Southgate, the news that he's staying on, I think that actually is a very good thing for the Three Lions. But back to this game, Argentina pressing quite high early on, not letting France kind of control the tempo or really have much control on this game so far, Andy. So seeing a lot of the French players, Mbappe dropping back very deep on the left flank, trying to pick it up. This is kind of what we've thought with the Di Maria switch as well, right? Argentina just pressing it high and setting the tone. Because we've seen two things from them. We've seen them sit back and counter like really well against Croatia, and they're coming in now down the left-hand side. I think it is Di Maria coming down the left wing. Dembele's got back. And they're rotating the ball around. Alvarez has it in the box. Di Maria on his wander the left foot. Tries to pick out. The really good ball. Deflection and just wide. Varane got his knee on it. But that's what we're talking about, right? Argentina on the front foot, making things happen.
Yep.
And Andy, what did you see up there? What did you learn from that Argentina attack?
Yeah, Argentina looking to really get into those channels, especially to your point from a few minutes ago, Joe, over there on that left side of attack in between Jules Koundé and Rafael Varane over there. Di Maria is obviously the wide attacker over there, but they're really doing a good job of pushing McAllister up there to feed him into space. He attracts the defender, and then once the space opens up, the ball is in behind. And defensively for Argentina, really quickly, very, very chippy start from them. I think every single player on the field is using up their one or two ticky-tack fouls toward an insistent infringement yellow card in this game very early on.
And Messi's got it. He's on the right flank, but Griezmann shuts him down. He's been everywhere, by the way, this tournament. Cross comes into the penalty spot. France half clear, comes down towards Alvarez. There's a bit of a melee in the middle there. Lloris comes, doesn't collect it. Ball drops the edge of the box, and a free kick's been given for a foul, I think, on Hugo Lloris. But that was a lot going on there. Nick, what did you see in that? Because there was a bit of nervous defending there from the French.
There is. I think so far, making a save and stepping up when it matters, that Lloris has settled into, I don't want to say settled into it, for a veteran, for someone who's been around as long as he have. But I thought he has found a way to improve. Maybe looked shaky really in the first 3 games of the tournament, if that's fair to say about a player as good as him.
Yeah, I think so. But he has stepped tall, hasn't he, Lloris, in the last couple of games, especially against Morocco, to get them and use his experience. So, yeah. All right. So, an intriguing start. Let us know in the comments section whereabouts in the world you're watching from. Always like this, because people coming from some great places all over the planet. So, let us know where you're watching this World Cup final from. As we see the replay there, and pretty clear foul from Cristi Romero. Just no love lost there between Tottenham teammates. Just drilling his captain and goalkeeper in the ribs there, Andy. And as a Tottenham fan, that's not what you want to see, is it?
Christian, you got a game in about a week with that guy on your team. Let's not do that.
Wow, Lloris is still down, by the way, getting treatment. So,
well, I mean, we were talking off the air about my beloved Buffalo Bills. That was a football hit.
Oh yeah,
considering they're not wearing pads, that's a hard foul.
Yeah, that is not what you want to see. He's still down receiving treatment. French fans in the stand are looking a bit nervous, but yeah, just a little marker there, I guess, right, from Romero to say, this is going to be a bit of a scrap and a battle today. So,
Andy was mentioning, and we won't get too much into the Premier League, but I couldn't help but notice yesterday when I was looking around for some news, especially with the Nkunku news. There have been some really good friendlies scheduled because all these teams are looking for somebody to play. Like Spurs play Nice next week. I would pay a good amount of money just to watch that friendly. Like some big teams playing each other. Who was it? Leeds played 2 La Liga teams in a row. So yeah, it's been pretty cool to kind of see that behind the scenes, these little friendlies drop on your screen and remind you that we got some fun up ahead on NBC.
Oh yeah, Premier League on NBC restarts the season Boxing Day, December 26th. Head over to Pro Soccer Talk at NBCSports.com for the preview, how to watch info, all that good stuff. Can't wait for it to kick back off. But the World Cup final right now is the main focus. But yeah, there is a lot going on. Arsenal, Juventus, I think it's all Nottingham Forest, Valencia, West Ham, Fulham. And I'm going to be going to a League Cup game over here in England as a fan this week as well. So the last 16 of that competition starts on Tuesday. So in 48 hours time, Premier League teams will be back in action for real in this season. So that just sums up the madness of having this Winter World Cup, right? So, okay, we've got a lot of people coming in from Jamaica, Virginia, Sacramento, I saw out there. So let us know whereabouts you're watching from. As Argentina again come down the left. And again, it comes to the edge of the box. Patient build-up play, but France just managed to clear. Looks like a handball was going to be given against Julian Alvarez, closing down. But again, just really, really good pressure from Argentina early on. It's almost like when England had a lot of joy against France and Morocco did in spells in that semi-final. Very similar blueprint from this Argentine team. And I guess they're quite flexible tactically, right, Andy?
Yeah, and they're doing it with tempo as well. I thought it would be a lot slower, bringing Di Maria back on, but as soon as the ball comes to his feet, he's looking to get it into the penalty area. He's looking to make one move and get the ball in the penalty area. It's not trying to beat a defender, get to the end line. You know, I think he obviously has a very good understanding of who he is as a player at this point of his career, and I think Argentina have looked and said, vision-wise, crossing-wise, picking out the ball into the box. Aside from Messi, he's clearly the best player in the squad at doing that, and so they're trying to run the offense through him.
Great dribble by Dembele to Mbappe on the left. Theo Hernandez has got it back to Mbappe. He's on the edge of the box, cutting inside. Lovely little ball with Rabiot. Oh, he just overhit it to Mbappe. But first time we've seen France actually get on the ball around the Argentina box, and some really lovely intricate passing there, but just overhit it. And again, Argentina snapping into challenges, covering each other well. Stepping high and just making France look pretty uncomfortable so far. Let's roll through some of these locations. We got Slims in Houston, Texas, Hector's in Brazil, Joseph's in San Antonio, Texas, Chicago, Death Valley, Nevada. Is that legit? I'm not sure, but if so, isn't that like one of the hottest places on earth? Well, I hope you're cool. Okay, Argentina on the attack. Lionel Messi. Oh. It's offside, I think. Yeah, but he just mistimed the pass, and I think it was one of the French defenders there just stepped out at the perfect time to stop the pass. I think it was Koundé, just read it as he tried to look for Di Maria. But this is a really open, entertaining start to the World Cup final, Nick Mendola. What do you think?
I think really good and intriguing. It's starting to, as you realize that you're watching tactics as well as energy. Mbappe's been held to 3 touches so far, which is kind of crazy. And I can't help but notice that when the ball swings to that left side, when the game is moving, I don't know, when the game is moving tactically, let me put it that way, there is a man right within 2 yards of Mbappe. And Argentina's had a little more luck getting the ball to Messi, maybe not in the position where Messi would like his teammates to be. And that's why I'm wondering, guys, we've talked about this before. The pressure of being in a World Cup final is obviously huge. It's massive. It's monumental. But the pressure of being in a World Cup final, and this is your last chance to give one of the greatest players to ever do it, if not the greatest players to ever do it, a World Cup title. I think there are some nerves from some of these young players like Alvarez.
Yeah, and I think as well, we're looking at seeing how France are lining up, and Mbappe is kind of leaning over to the left-hand side, but he is playing a lot more centrally, I think, to try and get closer to Giroud, and Rabiot's just kind of been tasked with, okay, be the centre midfielder, but also try and close down that left flank, or they're almost okay for Argentina to have the big switch, and we'll let Hernandez kind of push up and cut off those long balls and are capable because they know he's going to push forward. He's an attacking left fullback. So kind of interesting situation there. I think they're trying to get Mbappe centrally as close to Giroud to feed off those little knockdowns and flicks as much as they possibly can. So, okay, Jaden's got a good question here for us. Hi, Jaden. Would you guys say it was a good idea to start Di Maria? Andy Edwards discuss. Because it's Paredes he's come in for, a more defensive-minded player.
Yeah. I've switched already in 16 minutes. I questioned it a lot to start with.
Big chance for Argentina. Sorry to cut in. Oh, Messi just missed it. Comes back. And right on cue, Di Maria shanks it over the bar, way over the bar from the edge of the box. But Hernandez caught out there. Ball drops to Messi. Back to Rodrigo de Paul. Nearly couldn't find Messi on the pullback. And then the ball was bouncing, to be fair, to Di Maria. But leaning back, Andy, and put it over the bar. But probably the best chance of the game so far.
Yeah, and that's why you typically see Di Maria on the left side, so that when he's coming inside to the middle and having that shot at the top of the penalty area, it's on his better left foot. He is not there for right-footed shots from 20 yards out. We'll just put it that way. But I did think that his inclusion would kind of slow Argentina's attack down a little bit, but it is not. I think if anything, it's maybe sped it up just a little bit because he's not ponderous on the ball at all in this game thus far. He's looking very, very quickly. Ball's on his foot, looking to get it off of his foot and find someone making those runs, and he's doing such a good job, and you know this is tactically set up. He's all the way out to the touchline, completely out there. Jules Koundé, though, has to account for him, has to go with him, and that opens up so much space in that channel, and Argentina are finding a lot of joy in it already.
Absolutely. Just to remind everyone who's just joining us on this special Watchalong live for the World Cup final. Firstly, thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Prince-Wright here in England. Nick's in Buffalo, New York. Andy Edwards is in Kansas City. And remember, if you're watching in the USA, you can watch in Spanish on Telemundo and on Peacock. And you can watch in English in the USA on Fox as well. So pull up one of those streams, have the game along with us, and we'll tell you exactly what's going on. And let us know where about. I think I saw Manitoba's in the house as well in Canada. Nice. And there's a lot of places that you guys are watching from. So keep them coming. Let us know where you're joining us from. Keep your questions coming in. And we really appreciate it.
Listen, I want to make one really specific point about Di Maria, and I don't think Deschamps' been in charge for a dozen years, right? And he has had some, he has had some
edge of the box. Just want to say before you go into that, Nick, there's a dangerous run by Hernandez down the left. He was taken out by two Argentine players right on the edge. We're talking a yard or so from the penalty box. On the left-hand side as you look at it. So a dangerous opportunity coming up here, France. But Di Maria thoughts. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, sorry, that's an easy foul. He has been a part of some of the biggest moments in their history. And he scores the Copa America winning goal. He was one of the men of the tournament at the other two Copa Americas that they made deep runs in. And scored against France in the 2018 World Cup. So sometimes I just think it's knowing the calm, and if it doesn't work out, you can plug in one of these young bucks.
Oh, big chance here for France. A header over the bar, but it looks like a free kick was given against Giroud, maybe.
He's a little out of control. Yeah.
Lovely flicked cross in from Griezmann from the free kick. And Giroud did his best Superman impression, but sent the diving header over the bar. That meaty French forehead just couldn't quite get enough on it, right? But he's been brilliant at this tournament. For sure. So we got some questions coming in for us. Okay, Joel says, who is the GOAT? All right, are we going to answer this question now or wait till after the game? But I think we all kind of agree Messi is right up there with the greatest of all time, if not the greatest. And then, Andy, maybe a better question is, who is the best player right now at this World Cup on this pitch in this final, Mbappe or Messi? Because they both had excellent tournaments, both lead the Golden Boot race on 5 goals each. So there's a discussion to be had there, which we've been having pretty much all week.
Yeah, and the great part is we get 70 more minutes to come up with an answer to that question. And we don't really, we don't have to debate it. We get to watch it on the field. And what I like about both these teams is they're both set up to maximize what both of their star players, their best players, do well. Messi creatively getting into those, finding those little pockets of space, getting on the ball, dribbling past defenders, setting up goals, as we saw Julian Alvarez, the goal against Croatia. And then for France, I'm really, really paying attention to Hernandez and how he's getting forward, because that directly impacts Rodrigo de Paul there on the right side for Argentina, forcing him to really get back and work defensively to not let Nahuel Molina get overloaded and get 2-on-1s in there. Because if Hernandez gets forward, isolated on him, Mbappe is all by himself in that channel, and he can wreck a game unlike any other player in the world.
Oh,
that should be it. That should, yeah.
it's a penalty kick. It's a penalty kick.
What a move from Di Maria. He cuts
That is
him
why
off.
Di Maria starting. Usman Dembele.
Yep. He's been fantastic. Wow.
Wow, penalty kick to Argentina. 21 minutes into the World Cup final. Di Maria cuts inside Dembele, and then Dembele just flicks his heels.
He's just waiting. I don't think he's waiting for contact, but he's old enough that when he feels it, he goes down.
Yeah. Well, and that's also forcing Dembele back to defend in that situation is exactly why Di Maria is on the field. Because if he's causing that much trouble down that side, what's the first thing as a coach you're going to do? Winger, get back and defend. And if they can isolate him on Dembele, then something like that is bound to happen. That's just good tactics.
Yeah. Need to apologize. We may hear some yelling from my house downstairs, because I can tell you that downstairs there is a mother of 3 children who would like to see Olivier Giroud. It's her favorite player in France win.
Oh.
She's also, but there is a son who's had a Messi jersey since he was about 2, and he's 12.
Yeah.
So if you hear yelling not from us, that's what it'll be.
Okay, so the penalty kick, the stepping up. Messi in the World Cup final against Hugo Lloris. Argentina for a chance to take the lead. Messi's record with penalty kicks has been up and down. Let's say that. Here he comes, steps up, and he sends Lloris the wrong way and scores. Argentina 1-0 up against France. Nick Mendola, take over for me.
Look, I got to tell you guys this. I hate to be that guy. I needed that, not because I want Lionel Messi to win, which I do, but because I couldn't have him miss. I can't have another Harry Kane moment. An extremely likable player who, honestly, you guys know I love Lionel Messi. He's been ice cold in these big spots recently, even the last game. But there's that moment. I do like France, and I just want a good game. If Argentina were to lose and he were to miss a penalty or miss a big chance, I don't think I could deal with that for the rest of my life. So that's where I am. I don't know if you guys have ever been there, where you're watching a game and a moment comes up and you're like, whatever's going to happen. And this is sorry to rub it in, Joe, it's the second Kane PK as well. I just if this isn't going to go for England, I need it to not be on Kane. And so I feel relief right now that went in. And it was a pretty gutsy, because he blasted the last couple he took. And that was not a blast. That was a low, let me just put it in the goal.
Yeah, Messi's smile there kind of summed it up, Andy. It was like relief as well. His 97th goal for Argentina, his 12th World Cup.
It's ridiculous.
Extending his own record of being Argentina's top goal scorer in World Cup history in the finals. And also, obviously, beating the record as the most appearances, right, in World Cup finals as well today. So just incredible. So, get your reactions coming in to us. Get your questions coming in. Let us know where you're watching from. That's always fun. But, Andy, your reaction to that penalty incident? It was a penalty, right? Dembele just got beat all ends up by Di Maria, tried to recover, clipped him. The slightest touch, but there was a touch there. Got in the wrong position, let Di Maria get goal side of him, and a really calm penalty, because like Nick said, he could have smashed it, but just kept his cool, and Lloris was just flying the other side in the wrong way.
Yeah, this has played out exactly to plan for Argentina so far. They've had all the ball. They have broken up every bit of French play so far. They've gotten into that left-sided channel every time they've had the ball down into the final third. They have created or threatened to create something meaningful every time they've had the ball into the final third, and then they get the penalty. They get, again, Di Maria one-on-one isolated against not a defender in any sense of the word inside the penalty area, and something like that is bound to happen. And now I'm looking at the way Argentina, just a couple minutes after the penalty goes in, and if their shape is not going to change, but where the line of confrontation is, maybe it drops back just a little bit. And so I think this sets up absolutely perfectly for Argentina, because France relies so much on the open field, on their pace and their ability to get in behind. And Argentina, as we know, they have about 100 defensive midfielders that can just really clog up the middle, win the ball back, retain possession, and just one, make the game a little bit more ugly now from this point forward. But I think let the clock run very, very quickly with the ball at their feet. So I think it sets up well for Argentina. Obviously, being ahead in the World Cup final is a great place to be, but just in terms of the way the teams want to play and how their squad's set up, this is the perfect spot.
Oh, absolutely. I want everyone in the comments just chime in there. Do you guys think that was a penalty kick? Do you think there was enough contact there? Let us know. But as at the other end of the pitch, France have broken. They got a free kick here from Antoine Griezmann about 35 yards out. He's looking again to clip it into a dangerous area. Giroud's got his hand up. Lovely clip ball to the back post, but the referee stops it as the free kick comes in. And there's a bit of pushing and shoving in the box there. Enzo Fernandez has gone down, holding his face. Giroud is just telling the referee to keep an eye on me, watch what's happening here, because Argentina are paying very, very close attention to him, Andy.
Yeah, we have a phrase we love to use when we're talking about the U.S. men's national team called CONCACAFing, or being CONCACAFed, where there are on-field antics, shall we say, going on. France is going to get a real lesson in bowling in the rest of this game, because that is CONCACAFing on another level.
Oh, Griezmann clips in the cross, half dropped and half cleared. And there's been a nasty collision there. It looks like Hernandez is down. Looks like Messi is down, holding his head. It's been a really nasty. Oh, yeah, Messi just with his size disadvantage there. Just as he went up for the header, Hernandez just kind of caught him with his arm there. But looked like a pretty fair challenge. Both players were looking to challenge for the ball, but they're both up already. So not too much damage done there.
I wonder, are we going to see a situation here where guys are almost going beyond themselves, and how can that fail them? Argentina has not. They've been in the spot at a Copa America, which is one of my favorite tournaments in the world. You know, God bless us with the U.S. joining it in a couple of years, because I think that would be fantastic. But this is a stage. This is an all hands on deck situation, and might we see some things out of Argentina, like Messi being that far back and trying to outleap a 6'2" dude? We may see more moments like that.
Yeah, I think he's willing to do anything on the field to win this game, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, all of his teammates, I think, are feeling that extra pressure the whole tournament as well, right, to try and get him through. So let's wait and see what happens here, guys. But we are nearly half an hour into this World Cup final now, and it is going perfectly for Argentina as they build down the right-hand side. Messi's on it again. He's running at the French defense, who are backpedaling. Messi's coming inside, and he wins a corner. Hernandez tackles him. But again, that just sums up the brilliance of him right there. As soon as he got his head up, saw there was an opportunity to surge at the French defense, and they didn't want any of that, did they, Andy Edwards? Any at all. They were backpedaling very, very quickly, and they're extremely scared, and rightly so, of Messi and the form he's in right now.
Well, we're 30 minutes in, and France are not in this game, have not been in this game for a moment even yet. Like, it is going completely and perfectly accordingly to plan for Argentina.
Corner comes in from Messi towards the near post. Oh, France half clear it. Comes back out to Messi against Griezmann. And I think the offside flag's gone off, actually. So
I think that goal's really, really complicated. This obviously, a goal is going to complicate anything, but I don't know that Argentina expected to be up 1-0 at this point in the game. It seems a little bit early for what I think we all agreed. We thought we'd see goals, but I think we all expected it to be maybe a bit more cagey than it's been. And there certainly have been some fouls, but I feel a little uneasy. Like this is not how I expected it to go. I don't know about you guys. Did you see this kind of going the way it's gone with Argentina arguably in control?
Yeah, I don't actually know. Now you've asked me, I was just kind of thinking, I thought it'd be tight, and you're right. I don't know who this suits better, right, Andy? That's a really good question there from Nick. I think obviously Argentina are leading, so it suits them better, but maybe they can just play on the counter. Di Maria's coming in down the left, crosses it in, overhits the cross. But Argentina now will just play a different way, right? They kind of revert to how they've played in some of the games in this tournament and kind of how they did against Croatia in the semi-finals, where they'll sit back, be a bit deeper, and then can just hit France on the counter. But it's something about this French team that they're not too bothered. Even when it was 1-1 against England and England were on top, they were just, okay, we're going to weather the storm here, and we're going to do what we have to do, and big players are going to step on big moments. But Mbappe, we're seeing it there. He's just got dispossessed. We've hardly seen him so far, have we? We've hardly seen him have a touch of the ball. So Argentina's doing a very good job in stopping everything France has going forward.
Yeah, I don't think France will be too happy 31 minutes in, not had a shot yet. I think only connected one, maybe two passes into the final third as of yet. To me, it sets up perfectly for Argentina because, I mean, just look at what they're doing now, even playing all the way back to Martinez, playing it out of the back. France, the pressure is not really there at this point. And I don't think they're worried this early in the game, but I do think that they're going to have to make some sort of a change, not a substitution, but you've got to get, I think, obviously you got to get Mbappe on the ball more. And I think that comes from dropping him just centrally underneath Giroud so that they can combine more.
How did Di Maria just keep that ball in? It was an overhit ball to him on the left-hand corner, and he somehow managed to use his left foot to flick it back over himself, somehow keep it in play and run round. And then the ball comes back to him, and I think that was a right-footed shot from Alexis McAllister, actually. That just went out for a French throw-in.
Guys, we are going to talk. We're going to talk a lot, almost regardless of what happens in this match, about the other Lionel, because Scaloni is 44 years old. This is his first head job, unless you're counting Argentina U20s. He was an assistant at Sevilla. Again, 44-year-old wingback with 7 caps, who's about to have a Copa America, and he has a World Cup final on his resume, whether they win or not. What's next for a guy like that? Do you just retire at 44?
Yeah, not bad. I don't think he'll have to buy a drink in Argentina for the rest of his life if they hold on here. But yeah, it's just wave after wave of Argentine attack at the moment. France can't get out. Argentina, like you said, Andy, very comfortable to sit back and just keep the ball. We got some comments coming in there. Mika says soft penalty. All-Star says a weak penalty. Sony says, I actually just jumped into the comments to say that was absolutely not a penalty. Safal says that was not a penalty. And there was no contact. And then just a lot of Messi the GOAT comments, which is understandable, given that, he delivered again.
So good question. When you hear someone say, Joe, when you hear someone say soft penalty, we agree that that's a penalty. And I'm not being a jerk to our I think it's a penalty. I think it's a clever penalty. I do think it's also a relatively soft penalty. But if you're going by a line of, is it a foul? Yes, he got clipped. He may have went off balance, but he got clipped and he went down. So I think soft penalties can still be penalties.
Yeah. Charles says rooting for Argentina, but that was awfully soft. We're getting a lot of soft penalties in there. I think Di Maria knew what he's doing, right? As soon as he got inside the box, he's like, I feel any contact behind me here. If I go down, I'm going in on goal towards the 6-yard box. This is going to be a penalty. And again, it points to your point, Nick. I mean, Scaloni there, obviously he's made a very good decision to start him. I don't think many people are actually really looking at him to start this game. I think, throughout this tournament, for the most part, he's been a perfect, I'll bring him on in the 60th minute. It'll help us close out the game or help give us a bit of extra creativity to unlock the game as Messi drills the ball out to him, curls it. Di Maria's cutting inside edge of the box, back to Messi. France somehow clear, but then it keeps going straight back to an Argentine shirt, and they just keep building. And that's the problem here for France, right? Isn't it, Andy? As soon as they play the ball, they're not controlling the tempo, or they're not controlling the ball at all here, and they're just defending basically for the entire 35 minutes. I mean, the stats come up there, haven't had a shot at all, target or off target.
Does France look out of gas already to anybody else? And obviously that's just going to compound itself as Argentina have more and more of the ball and they chase it around, and Argentina play it all the way back to Martinez, and they have to push forward, and then they slowly side to side build back out of the back again, get it into the middle third, get it into the it's just constant.
Mbappe is coming inside the penalty box, but good clearance there defensively. That's the first time we see him flick past Molina down that left flank and just couldn't quite get on the end of his own flick on. But here come Argentina on the counter. Alvarez plays it in. They're clean through. Man at the back post, Di Maria. 2-0!
There it is.
That is exactly the game plan.
What a horrible starter.
Perfect counter. And then Di Maria at the back post was found, clips it in. Argentina 2, France 0, 35 minutes into the World Cup final, and everything is going perfectly for Argentina, perfectly for Lionel Messi. And guys, I don't want to say the World Cup final's over, but it's getting to that case of stage already. One bad.
Argentina have been here at this tournament already. Let's not say that yet.
Yeah, but I said it last time, and it was a cracking game, and they still got through. So, lovely counter-attack. And then, what's that, Messi or Alvarez on the assist? Messi was the original, the control, the flick with the outside left foot. And then McAllister finding Di Maria at the back stick, and the composure for Di Maria there, just to hit the ball into the floor. It bounces up over the outstretched legs of Hugo Lloris. That is the perfect finish you need in that moment. He could have done anything, tried to chip it. And his face says it all with the love heart celebration. The Argentina fans in the stand are in tears. Their team are 2-0 up in the World Cup final against France. Di Maria looks like he's close to tears, if not crying as well. No, he is crying, definitely. And now it's all about controlling this game for Argentina, just like they have been. And we're not going to go down the cliche route. We're not going to say 2-0 is the most dangerous scoreline in football because.
Oh, I was gonna.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. France, we need to see something from France. It's nearly half time, Andy. We've seen nothing, and fair play. Argentina totally deserved this 2-goal lead.
Yeah, Argentina have just executed absolutely flawlessly the game plan, and that entire sequence there from Molina to Messi with somehow the best touch of them all when they were all really good, to Alvarez getting the ball into space, and was it Fernandez pushing on from midfield and curling that ball to the back post. That entire move is exactly the way they want to play. They have that's how the team is set up. That's how the squad is set up. And again, it gets the most out of their best players. It's just absolutely perfect. And one of the better team goals that we've seen at this World Cup. We've seen some great individual goals, but that's one of the better team goals that we've seen, no doubt.
Guys, I got to say this. Here's a reason I think not just the 2-0 scoreline that France is really in trouble. I think their lineup on the field right now is their final 30-minute lineup when you're ready to go for it. They went for it out of the gate. But with Griezmann and Dembele and Giroud and Mbappe, this is when they want to go forward. With all due respect to Kingsley Coman, who I think is wonderful, and Thuram, this is what they would have wanted. And I think it kind of highlights, as good as Tchouameni has been, as good as Rabiot has been, that play itself doesn't happen with a healthy N'Golo Kante out there. That specific play does not happen. And
here comes France, though. Mbappe, good tackle there by Christian Romero, has been excellent this tournament. Here comes Messi, and now we're talking about it now. This is the opportunity, but France get back to clear the danger. But yeah, you're right. This is exactly how Argentina wanted this to set up, right? And then it's just the brilliance of Messi, the brilliance of all these players, Di Maria, the finish, the experience there. And for those two to be heavily involved in that goal, Andy Edwards, just says a lot, right? About the extra quality and class. Like Nick said there, France basically got their A-team out there in terms of the attacking intent. You kind of struggle to see how they're going to mix it up. Do they go more direct in the second half, kind of what the Netherlands did to get themselves back in the game? Because right now, whatever they're doing, like you said, they look out of gas and they look totally devoid of ideas, really, and they can't hang with Argentina.
Yeah, it is incredible right now to watch a 35-year-old and a 34-year-old just run the World Cup final right now. And that's why I think I love the international game so much, is because you can't do that on a regular basis in a league season or for your club team in multiple competitions. But you go away, you simplify the game just a little bit. It becomes about who's got the most talent. And then you work yourself into that schedule of a tournament like this. And they have just been building those two, Di Maria and Messi, throughout this entire tournament, as has Argentina, just getting better and better as the tournament goes on. So it's going to be a long way back. And now we have to remember 24 hours fewer rest for France at this point, 2 goals down with barely a half to go now. That is certainly going to factor in. And I'd be surprised if we don't see a few subs very early in the second half, maybe even at halftime, just for the fresh legs and to put some energy into the game and put Argentina on the back foot just a little bit.
Nick, here's one for you. Do you think we're actually seeing that Argentina may have had an easier path through the knockout rounds than France?
Yeah.
Oh, substitutions already. We're seeing Giroud and Dembele come off. Maybe carrying knocks. I don't know. Is that just saying that it's just not working at all? And Giroud does not look happy with this at all. But Thuram and Colomuana's coming on, and that just suggests that they need to totally, like we just said, change the shape of this game. And these two players coming on are totally different, really players, obviously, to Giroud. And they're going to try and get at the Argentine backline, right? But what do we make of this, guys?
Well, and Mbappe will go through the middle as well, I think.
Yeah. Dembele is not slow by any stretch of the imagination, but I think these two subs are there to press. They're there to fly. They're there to be electric when they're going back in the other direction. Giroud, clinical, right? For sure. Dembele is at times a nuanced player for as electric as he can be. These guys bring maybe a bit more power. And I think, honestly, as a viewer, you like this.
I think you're right about the pressing, Nick, because Giroud and Dembele, we've already seen Dembele defend in this game, and Giroud, it's obviously not his strong suit, and so you just put you up the tempo when Argentina have the ball, put them under a little bit of pressure, and I think they realize now that they're not really going to create chances in this game. They're going to have to manufacture and force chances out of sheer will and just by getting the ball into the final third in the penalty area, whether it's pretty or not. And so I kind of wish more coaches would be so proactive like Didier Deschamps just was with making changes. It's clear that this game is there and teetering on the brink of being lost already for France. Why wait until halftime? Why wait until 55 or 60 into the second half? Just do it now. I appreciate I feel for Giroud. He becomes the all-time leading scorer for France at this tournament, and then he's pulled off the field after 40 minutes in the first half of the final. But, that's the way the game goes.
And Argentina coming in down the right, left-hand side. France half clear it, but just all over the place. Argentina obviously properly fired up by those 2 goals. They know this is destiny now, and you're going to have their players just running through a brick wall, doing everything they can to keep this 2-goal lead. And this is incredible, Nick, as we head towards half-time. Let's get a question. Who's been your first half MVP? I wonder who this could be. Go ahead. Let us know in the comments as well, everyone.
My answer is Di Maria.
Okay.
I don't know how you go in another direction, especially since I think as football fans, don't we kind of sit here and realize that in a lot of these games you can pick the GOAT, so to speak. But, Di Maria has been, if he's not the MVP, he's the difference maker.
Andy, you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, how can you not? And especially when the game plan was so clearly designed for him, and he was the key coming into this game for Argentina, the way that they drew it up. We couldn't have seen that from the outside, but it was very clear within 5 minutes. It was Di Maria one-on-one with Koundé, creating space for everyone else. And then once you create space for others, space opens up for yourself as well. And so it's just, it's that game of dominoes. Once they start falling for you or against you, it's really, really hard to stop them and certainly pick them back up.
Yeah, we got some comments here saying Di Maria won this World Cup, not Messi. So I don't know about that. Over the course.
Messi got him to the final. Does that count at all, or no?
Yeah. Does Messi not get a trophy for that? I was just curious.
He also scored in this game.
Yeah. I mean, if this result holds, right, he's going to have the Golden Boot, the World Cup trophy, and probably the Golden Ball as well, you would imagine. Yes. So
if he doesn't get the Golden Boot, Joe, Kylian Mbappe has become the greatest player of all time because Messi entered this game equal on goals and with the assist tiebreaker. So Mbappe is about to be the toast of the world, not the town.
Here comes France. They try to play the ball into Mbappe, but again, they can't find it. Referees in the way a little bit, but France are coming out. Just in the midfield, very scrappy. Rabiot getting ahead.
The desperation. They're hungry. Every ball.
Hungry to win absolutely everything. You're spot on there. France win it back though, and then I think Rabiot just plays it out of but you know what? He's had a really bad first half. I mean, he's had a really good tournament, but I think he's just, in particular, obviously struggling with illness, right? One of the players who's been battling that. So it looks like it may have taken its toll on him. I wouldn't be surprised to see if he came off at halftime as well. And 7 minutes of stoppage time.
Yeah. So, it's nice that we get one more weird first half stoppage time number before the World Cup goes away. That's kind of been the thing of the tournament. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Guys, question for you. And I know I think Romero has been phenomenal and he's a bad man. But is anyone else surprised that this has been a 90-minute to 120-minute proposition for Nicholas Otamendi in every game and he's barely put a foot wrong?
I mean, I on my team of the tournament.
I am going to as well. Yeah.
Yep.
He's been incredible.
Yeah. Him and Romero, I think, as a partnership, you had some concerns about them, and we saw that in the first game, right? And again, I've said it before, losing to Saudi Arabia in that first game was just, in some ways, a weird positive for Argentina. And they've had to play, really. All their group stage games have been like a knockout round game since the start.
And Spain did that in 2010 as well. I think we mentioned that kind of around the same time. Was it Switzerland that beat them in their opener of that tournament, then went on to win it?
Yeah, it was. You're spot on there. Hernandez there whistled for a foul on the edge of the Argentine box. France were trying to get something going before halftime, and this 3-4 minute period now, Nick Mendola, is incredibly important in this game, right? In terms of if France somehow get one back here, then it changes the momentum of this game. But so far, they haven't looked like doing that at all, have they? I'm trying to think their best chance is probably that Giroud header from a free kick that was given as a free kick against him because it was a foul. And that's as close as they come.
Yeah, Joe, for me, I would almost bet, I mean, obviously we're deep in stoppage time here, but I would have bet money that the Argentina will close down the rest of this half because it's just a very tough, stereotypically CONMEBOL way of going about getting to halftime. I wonder if stats tell us that over time, South American teams, the big teams, the celebrated programs, tighten up in these moments in a good way. And honestly, you ask about Argentina getting here. Besides Messi, who is an outlier in almost every single way, this is kind of the tournament I expected from Uruguay, with Nunez and Cavani and just being so tough to break down at the back, and Betancourt. Argentina has pulled the playbook that had me thinking Uruguay could have made a final. And again, Scaloni is a name we're going to talk about quite a bit because he's 44 years old and he's walking out of here with essentially no club experience. And now 55 minutes away from having a Copa America and a World Cup for Argentina.
Absolutely. And we'll talk about that a lot at halftime. So get your questions in for Nick, Andy, and I as halftime is fast approaching the World Cup final. Argentina 2, France 0. 49th minute coming up towards. We've got a few more minutes of stoppage time. But get your comments and questions coming in for us. Remember, if you're watching in the USA, in Spanish, you can watch on Telemundo and on Peacock. So pull up a stream. And if you're watching in the USA, in English, you can pull a stream up on Fox as well and on their platform. So got plenty of places to watch the action, and we'll keep you all updated here with the commentary from wherever you're watching. And let us know where you're watching from around the world. We love doing this and seeing where you guys are joining us from. Again, I'm in England, Joe Prince-Wright. Andy Edwards is in Kansas City, and Nick Mendola is in Buffalo, New York. So let us know where you're watching from, and we'll give you a shout. Yeah, go Bills, right, after last night. So let's get to kind of some of the bigger talking points. I think we talked about sort of the key battles in this game, and I guess where Argentina's really winning it. And it seems like midfield, guys, is where they've really overpowered France. And that's been the big kind of talk. We talked so much about Mbappe and Messi, obviously, before this, Andy. But in midfield, that has been dominant and then allowed Romero and Otamendi to be so physical, shall we say, as we're seeing now at the end of this first half.
Yeah, I think we all are probably delighted that the Brighton gospel is being spread to the world at large through this game specifically with Alexis McAllister. He's been absolutely fantastic coming forward and being that extra man joining the attack with Messi and Di Maria and Alvarez, and I wrongly gave the assist earlier to Enzo Fernandez. It was McAllister, and that's something that we have seen so many times in the Premier League. Him being that extra body to join the attack. His vision is fantastic. Technically, he's brilliant. He's a good finisher of long range shot. Like he is such a quality, solid, well-rounded player, and he's also doing a real job in there defensively. So if you've got a player who's creating and adding to the attack like that, but also is in no way a net negative defensively, then you're in a really, really good spot, especially with a 2-goal lead.
I just want to say, Andy, while I remember as well, you predicted Argentina to beat France in the World Cup final, right? Is that your
prediction? Did I?
Oh, yeah. You haven't mentioned it.
Thanks for bringing that up, Joe. I forgot that.
45 minutes away from being the ultimate predictor. We got loads of people joining us from all over. Okay, let's go through this. Nick's in France. Michael Clayton's in San Jose, California. Freddie Gonzalez is in Palm Springs, California. Lovely and warm in those places as the rain pours down here in England. So thanks for joining us from your very sunny location. Sean Jansen is in USA in Annapolis, Maryland. New York's in the house. We've got Vietnam. We've got Argentina. I bet Argentina's absolutely crazy in Buenos Aires, Rosario, and every street in Argentina right now. I bet they're cautiously getting the party ready to get started in about 45 minutes to an hour's time. And we've got Santa Barbara, Spain in the house. Brian Mayfield joining us from Arkansas, USA. And yeah, this is great. Just let us know wherever you're watching from, and we'll get those up on the screen so we can all join in together and watch this World Cup final. As we got a couple of yellow cards. Enzo Fernandez has been booked. Griezmann was down, so we got a free kick for France by the looks of things, just right on half time. And Scaloni's going wild to get the Argentine defenders back. Okay, Griezmann's about to whip it in. New Orleans is in the house as well. Hello to you. Oh, the cross comes in nearly to the back post of Varane. That's what we've seen that a lot, right? Like we said about the Netherlands earlier. Against Argentina, teams are going towards the back post. They know that Romero and Otamendi are two best headers of the ball are going to be centrally. It's let's go to the fullbacks, and it's going to be interesting. If I'm Argentina, I'd probably bring Lisandro Martinez on at halftime and go to that back five just to give you a little bit extra protection from that. Got Texas, USA's in the house, Miami, Florida, New Orleans, Idaho, Sydney's in North Carolina, Kerry's from Texas, Christy is in Phoenix, Arizona. Hello to you all. And an update. It's halftime in the World Cup final. France 0, Argentina 2. The camera pans to Kylian Mbappe. Doesn't look best pleased. Doesn't look that sweaty either because he really hasn't had that much to do because he's hardly been on the ball in the first half.
11 touches.
Just can't get the ball to him, right, Nick? And Messi's expression obviously is very, very different to his. We've got Ohio in the house. We've got Sacramento, California. The Bronx, Amarillo, Texas. Hello to you all. Georgia, Trinidad, Miami again, St. Louis, Florida, Alaska. Wow, this is Anazin, Houston as well. So many mixture of places here. So thanks so much. Istanbul is in the house. Thanks everyone for joining us. Anthony's in St. Louis. And yeah, guys, let's get our halftime thoughts. Andy Edwards, I'm going to come to you.
Easy. That was so easy for Argentina in the first half. Like, it didn't look they worked incredibly hard, but it didn't look like they were sweating whatsoever. The game plan, went exactly according to plan. I'm thinking here as well, like we've talked all tournament about Messi and Di Maria a lot today, and Alvarez being kind of the goal scorer that this team needed to step up into the secondary or kind of third attacking option at this tournament. They were going to go on and win it. But I'm also thinking about, we're just shy of 13 months from Diego Maradona's passing as well, and like that storyline and that part of it hanging over as well. And obviously the last time that Argentina won the World Cup in 1986, he was the star of that show. And Joe, you talking about what the scenes must be like back in Argentina right now. And I'm picturing whatever the population of Argentina is. I don't know it off the top of my head. There are that many white and blue 10 shirts out in the street right now. Every single, whether it's a 40-year-old shirt from Maradona, whether it's bought this morning with Messi on the back, like, it is just, there is something so special about that. And to tie together, potentially, obviously we've still got a half to go here, but to tie together 36 years apart, winning 2 World Cups with those two, I mean, what's bigger than icon in the sport and just the history of humanity, really? 2 of the most famous and talented people that have ever existed, to have done that. The symmetry of those 2 things, I think, is really, really fantastic.
Absolutely. Nick, we got a good question here. What do we think France needs to improve the most for this second half? A question from Sean Jansen.
Well, I recommend shooting the ball,
Yeah.
period. I mean, even putting one wide of the net would be a step in the right direction. I just tweeted this out. 1.46 expected goals for Argentina, almost 60% of the ball, 6 shots, 2 big chances. Flip it. 0.00 expected goals for France, 0 shots, 0 big chances, 77% passing, no corners, no offsides. It has been a failure to arrive. And I think a lot of that really, I mean, I can't help but just give the credit to Argentina, though. Mbappe, who still, by the way, is capable of turning this game around on his own, is been nothing. He has been shut down, and that's only going to happen once out of every 40 games for club and country. That was just a remarkable first half. This is, as Andy pointed out, when you talk about Messi right now, if he does manage to grab a World Cup, we're only discussing him and Pele for a while. I mean, that's the discussion. It is no longer anybody within, and Maradona, perhaps because of the natural cultural tie. This is France. I hate to twist the question, a really good question, but I don't put much of this on France. That's a very talented team who is losing every ball because Argentina just looks hungry as you know what.
Yeah, you're right there. I think it is. I don't think France have turned up and they looked a bit rattled, but you're right. There's a reason for that, and that's because Argentina have made them look like a very ordinary team, and they're not. They're the reigning World Cup champions, at least for another 45 minutes, and they are, just looking like they've never played together before. It's really random. And Andy pointed it out in the first half. Is it the fact that they're tired? I mean, playing England and then Morocco. It kind of seems to have taken it out of them, the energy. And there hasn't been a lot of rotation in this France squad during this tournament because of, the big injuries to Pogba, to Kante, to Benzema being out, and then Nkunku as well. So where Argentina's actually been able to rotate and keep some of their players like Di Maria quite fresh throughout the tournament, I don't think France has had that luxury, and we're kind of seeing that today. Seems like a 90-minute game too far, and that hunger and just the aggressiveness of this Argentine team is really coming out. I think Scaloni right now, he's a tactical masterclass to bring Di Maria in, and just the way that they're overloading down the right-hand side on the opposite flank as well, getting at Hernandez. And they're kind of seen, okay, Mbappe is a great player, but he leaves a lot of space down the left-hand side there. And it's really, really interesting. Ken and Nick, what do you want to see from Argentina in the second half? I hinted at it earlier.
It's easy.
It's easy, but I just want to see them. I think I'd bring on Lisandro Martinez pretty quickly, right? I mean, to go to a back 5, we've seen them do that. They're pretty comfortable doing that. And
who do you take off? Alvarez?
Either him or Di Maria. It's kind of tough to take off Di Maria, but I don't think he's ready to go 90 minutes. So if they get to the 60th minute and it's still 2-0, I'd probably take off Di Maria. And
I think that was scripted into the game plan. In an ideal situation, you get a goal or two. You don't have to push Di Maria any further. And then, that's, again, perfectly the plan, it seems, for Argentina. Unless this is a very, very unique and specific and complex, deep plan from France to get Argentina right where they want them. It's going to be tough sledding.
I like the point. I would say this, Joe. I have been thinking from the moment they went up 2-0 that you're going to end this game with Messi, um, Dybala, and Lautaro Martinez on the field, because those guys countering with Messi serving as the playmaker in the hole, especially he's willing. I would put a keeper, 7 defenders, and those 3 guys out there. So I kind of think it sets up to do that. Bringing those 2 players on would be really interesting. But Lisandro Martinez in some capacity as well, yeah, makes a lot of sense.
What do you think about France? I mean, we talked about what they have to do, maybe a bit more direct. Do we see Kingsley Coman come on pretty soon? If not a half time for Rabiot midfield, and just go for it and almost play like a 4-2-4, and then just try and be more direct and hope that you get one back, and then Argentina are a little bit all over the place. Yeah, it's interesting, right? But I think Kingsley Coman's got to come on, because I'm looking at their bench, and like we said, there's strength of squad there. You mentioned it there, Nick. The players, Dybala, Lautaro, that Argentina have on the bench, just France just don't have that, right, with the injuries that they've had, and that's probably going to be a difference in this game. But Coman and Camavinga as well, maybe to give them a little bit of presence in midfield and get on the ball and try and drive them forward. I mean, those are the 2 players. As we're seeing a replay of Giroud's reaction after coming off, by the way, lobbing drinks bottles everywhere, kicking stuff. Pretty angry, let's just say that. And I don't think it was with coming off, but it's just the situation and how it unfolded for France and got away from them quickly. So what do you want to see from France in the second half?
I don't see how they it's very difficult for me to see how they don't go to a back 3. I think they'll want to keep Hernandez out there and keep maybe him as a wide man in a 3-4-3. The problem here is I don't really see a way, because you're going to need some strong men there in the middle and some possession guys in the middle, because that's something that they haven't had in this game. I don't know how you do that without sacrificing another attack-minded player, because you have already made 2 subs. So Griezmann has been arguably their man of the tournament besides Mbappe, and those are the 2 attackers you can take off. So I guess painting Coman as maybe the right mid, right wing in that sort of 3-4-3, and counting on, I don't know, Tchouaméni, and I don't know, because you got Rabiot keeping them in there. I don't know, Joe. I think they've made their subs for now, and it'll be at least to the 65-minute mark before we see something really significant.
Absolutely. Let us know in the comments section what you would do if you're France or if you're Argentina, how you would approach that game. We'll get the best comments up on the screen. Just kind of, get involved. Let us know how you'd like to see, if you're an Argentine fan, how do you want to see him close this out? Because if they don't do this now, 2-0 up at halftime World Cup final, then that is obviously a huge collapse. And we've already seen that nearly against the Netherlands in this tournament. So we know that they may be a little bit nervous, but it seems like there's something a little bit different about this performance today. And for France, do you agree, if you're a French fan out there, or you agree if you're neutral, what they should do in the second half? Because they just need to get Kylian Mbappe on the ball, and Griezmann, and get those 2 linking up, because they're not finding any space whatsoever between the lines. And obviously, Argentina have the luxury right now of being 2 goals ahead, and they can just sit back a bit deeper. But again, that's dangerous. As we saw them against the Netherlands, they were inviting a lot of pressure onto them. So Renata says, if I was France, I'd just pack my bags. That's fair enough. If I was France, I would forfeit. There's not a lot of hope for France right now. Simeon says, men playing against boys, which is odd, as the boys currently hold the World Cup. But
I was going to say.
Yeah, so we've got in the comments, Ethan opening up that can of worms. Messi is better than Ronaldo. I think this World Cup has probably proven that, right? If you ever were really close on that discussion, then obviously very different types of players. But I don't think we need to go down that route right now. Ronaldo, as we've talked a lot about him during this World Cup.
It's about time someone has that conversation.
Yeah, for the last 20 years and the next probably 100, we'll be having this debate. Messi is better than everyone. Very fair statement there. Alstar says, France need midfielders. Taking out Giroud was a terrible decision. Actually, kind of good point there. I think if they're going to go direct in the second half, then you'd want him to be knocking the ball down for other players around him. So it's difficult, right? I don't know, because you're not really doing that to Mbappe, are you? You're not playing balls up to him to flick them on or control them in the air. That's not his game at all. So got some other comments here. Keep doing what they've been doing. Don't sit back. Keep France in the heels. And Isaiah says, can we agree that Messi is the best closer to be up 2-0 for football? The most prized possession is closer. Yeah, he's closer. I mean, he's close there to getting it. And I guess maybe we'll talk a little bit about that in the start of the second half, about the legacy and what this would mean.
This reminds me of, Joe?
Yeah, go ahead, mate.
All right, I've been thinking this more and more and more and more. This reminds me of how I felt when Barcelona played Man United in the Champions League. Now, granted, we all know that Barcelona was one of the greatest teams of all time, so it's less of a quote-unquote minor underdog scenario. But you just weren't used to seeing a team as good as that Man United team was, and a team as good as this France team is, just get bossed for a half. And it was one of those things where you just kind of said, Messi, Xavi, but it's really recalling the way I felt at that game, where I'm just thinking to myself, how is a team doing this to France?
Yeah.
Because I don't think France is good, really, really good.
It's like they're good, but they're just obviously nowhere near as good as they need to be, right? The players are back on the pitch for the start of the second half. Just to update everyone joining us for this special watch-along, thanks so much. I'm Joe Prince-Wright over here in England. Delighted to say, as always, I'm joined by Nick Mendola in Buffalo, New York, and Andy Edwards in Kansas City. Gents, it's been so much fun doing these watch-alongs throughout the World Cup, and we're just about to kick off perhaps the final 45 minutes. Who knows? We might have extra time and penalty kicks, but we're right at the business end now. This World Cup as Argentina lead France 2-0. So to everyone in the comments section, if you're looking for a place to watch the game, you can pull up, if you're in the USA, in Spanish on Telemundo and on Peacock. You can watch across our NBC family of channels. So pull up that stream, have us up on another, and we'll get to all your questions throughout the game and share your comments. And if you're in the USA as well, you can watch the game in English across Fox's network of channels as well. Okay, got some questions coming in as the second half just kicks off. Lionel Messi kicks it off. Casaro here says, does France have the manpower on the field to attack more directly like the Dutch did when they turned things around against Argentina? I don't think so, right? I mean, you can see it there lining up, and it's like a 4-2-3-1 they've gone to now, with Mbappe as the main centre forward. And he's not a guy who's going to flick it on. He's not a Wout Weghorst type, is he, Andy? He's not going to be powering in at the back stick. It's not his game. As Argentina come on the break early in the second half, Alvarez is going towards the edge of the box, plays it out to Rodrigo de Paul. Back to Alvarez on the edge of the box. Argentina building up nicely. Look to clip it into Messi. Oh, nearly gets in. It's actually McAllister coming in from the edge of the box again, Andy, like we see at Brighton so often. A late run into the box, and Hugo Lloris comes out into the penalty spot and claims it. But less than a minute into the second half, Argentina have a big chance to make it 3-0. And France have just played the ball out. And when they're meant to find a player and played it out for an Argentina throw-in. So not a great start to the second half for France, Andy.
Yeah, this is very ruthless and clinical from Argentina coming back out for the second half and immediately back onto the front foot. And I think it's really timid from France as well. And I think the realization of what's happening to them, I think, is really setting in, and they're seeing how difficult that challenge is going to be. I think the only way they get back into this game is like you guys were just talking about. They don't have the size to go direct up top. It's going to have to come from the press. It's going to have to come from winning the ball back in the middle third, and even in Argentina's defensive third, so that they can get quick scoring chances. As we still, 47 minutes into this game now, we're still waiting for their first shot, not their first shot on target, their first shot of the game.
0.00 expected goals for France so far, which is not what you want in the World Cup final. Mexart says, do you think France is going to come back? Do any of us calling that?
Nah.
I don't see it, right? I don't see it. But this World Cup has been crazy. So if something like that happened, as they play the ball long and lump it down, and Mbappe is just trying to buzz around. But It's not a lot happening there. I don't think so. Let us know in the comments if you think a crazy comeback's going to happen. But Argentina right now, I'm sure we'll see it in a little bit. Maybe that engraver is probably just starting to get ready to engrave their name on the World Cup trophy. We see that a lot. Sean says, "How is Argentina's defenders going to keep on this half?" I guess, Nick, is we'll kind of see if it gets to the 60th minute mark if they go to a back five, but just keep doing what you do. And I think maybe they'll take less chances to be aggressive and step high, Romero and Otamendi, because they don't want to get the pace of Mbappe in behind them. Now he's playing more centrally. Is that fair enough how they have to approach it?
I think so. And Martinez, if they don't go to a back five, perhaps going in for Molina, just for that little extra bit of stability. I can see that happening as well.
Raheem here says Mbappe needs to play in midfield, create plays for himself and forwards. I mean, not a bad suggestion at this point. They're not getting the ball to him at all. Maybe, just maybe see him dropping a bit deeper, Andy. I don't know. We haven't seen hardly anything, and we're just seeing perfect example of this game here. Argentina winning the ball back, swarming France with Koundé on the ball down their right-hand side, and then just stepping in and winning it back again. And Messi's here. And Di Maria's on the edge of the box, and he gets his head up, clips it towards the back post, and a low shot comes in from Rodrigo de Paul, and Lloris saves it. But that sort of 20-second period there is exactly how this entire game's gone. France aren't controlled on the ball, haven't got any options. Argentina snapping into the challenges, 3 passes, they're in, and then a cross and a shot on goal. And that's it, right? That's been it so far. It's France now come on the other end of the pitch, and you guess what happened? Argentina got a foot in, and they stopped.
Well, it's the entire team as well. It's not the high press. It's not the midfield squeeze. It's Christian Romero before that last chance for Argentina steps 20 yards into midfield to intercept that pass, and immediately, I think with the first touch, get it to somebody further forward, and then they're off and running. It is just so, it's ruthless, it's methodical, and it's quick the way that Argentina are doing absolutely everything. And the more time that they force France to just contest the ball, to fight to have the ball, they are draining themselves, they are draining the clock, and they are draining what is left of this World Cup and making it almost, to me at this point, it feels a foregone conclusion because Argentina just, even without the ball, have so much control of this game.
I would pay to be watching this game with Diego Pablo Simeone Gonzalez, because that shot of Rodrigo de Paul firing back after joining in and looking like his team wasn't up to nothing. He was just desperate to get back into position. I don't see another outcome, but the reason I'm so excited about the following 45 to 50 minutes given stoppage time is that we're going to witness history.
Mbappe's getting in down the right here as France win the ball back, but I think it's a goal kick there, and I think it was Enzo Fernandez covering up from midfield. No, it's a corner. It looks like it's actually been given as a corner. So first bit of anxiety there from the Argentine. I think it was the left back there, Tagliafico, and Griezmann's got a corner kick here. And that's better from France. They're pressing higher. They actually have the energy, it looks like now, to do that. But it's taken them to the 51st minute here to actually show a bit of aggressive nature. And the corner comes straight in, and Emilio Martinez just collects it under no pressure whatsoever. And now Argentina look like they're going to counter with Di Maria. He's coming towards the halfway line. He's got a little glance up. Messi's run one way. Alvarez has got the other. Messi's got the ball now, plays it into De Paul on the edge of the... and a good tackle there by Hernandez, but it's gone out for a throw-in. But excellent play there from Argentina once again to make the most of that counter. And I think we're going to see a lot of that in the final 35-plus minutes here.
But yeah, sorry, the point that I just want to make is regardless of what happens down the stretch, we're either going to see Lionel Messi win his first World Cup, or we're going to see an all-time comeback. Like, there's no other way around this. This is, Joe, you guys said it, and I kind of hesitated to underline it because I worry about making bold predictions sometimes unless they're crazy enough. This is a moment. This is a game that people are going to talk about for the rest of our lives as soccer fans.
Absolutely. And then when we look at sort of the records and finals for these teams, I mean, I think it's, when we talk about all-time World Cup finals, I think this is fair to say it's going to be one of the biggest ever. I mean, there's best storylines, Mbappe and Messi, and just sort of two huge nations going head to head, and they've had relative success. Obviously, France winning last time out, Argentina getting to the final in 2014. We look through, I think, in 4 of the last 7 World Cups, France have now got to the final, which is pretty incredible to think about. And they would have been the first repeat champions in 60 years if they can pull off something crazy. Obviously, Argentina haven't won the World Cup for 36 years. Lost 2 of the last 3 finals before this that they've been in. So there's, this isn't, I think what I'm trying to say, Andy, is this is kind of expected for these nations now to be in the finals of these tournaments and, European championships, Copa America. This is just kind of a given that they're at this stage. And I think that really adds to the sort of grand nature of this final, as well as Mbappe, as well as Messi, as well as those storylines. And this is going to be a final we'll look back on for a very long time, I think. Oh,
yeah. And
sorry. By Martinez.
Yeah, no problem. And either way, France or Argentina winning, it was going to be that. It was going to be, was Messi going to be chapter 1 or chapter 1A in the story? Was he going to win it and it was going to all be about that moment? Or was it going to be France gets one, Mbappe gets another one, and also Messi fails once again? Like, it was, crossroads moment I think is what I said before the game, and it really did have that feel, and it's been one-way traffic. It has been nothing but one-way traffic in this game.
Yeah, Tchouaméni, they're just giving the ball away, and Rabiot forced to give away a foul on De Paul. And again, I think that just sums up the quality just hasn't been there from France's midfield. Argentina winning it back time and time again. Brandon's got a question here for us. Hi, Brandon. If Argentina holds on to the win, what are the chances that Messi retires? Nick, what do you think about that? Do you think he just does an ultimate mic drop moment?
0.
Retires from, at least from national team duties.
He's got to get to 100 though first.
Okay, yeah, he's going to want it. That's a really good point, Andy. I think he wants to play in another Copa America. He's going to be, if it's in the U.S. especially, in 2 years, that's 2 more years. He walks out there. He lets somebody else have that other World Cup. Maybe he gets drawn out of retirement if the World Cup records are within question. But yeah, I thought you were right on the international front until Andy said that about 100. By the way, Messi is set right now to be, and I haven't got deeper than 1974. He's going to be the oldest Golden Boot winner, which, I mean, this is usually happening for people who are 26, 28, 30 at most. So insane. In the modern era, by the way, just insane.
Absolutely.
The guy who's shorter than me and I'm short.
The absolute magician today on the pitch, and scored the first, played a big part in the second. And Argentina, as we said, lads, they look pretty comfy at the moment. The fans are going crazy in the stand, trying to urge them on, banging drums. And the players have responded, right? The entire game, they've just been absolutely on it. And yeah, this is a classic matchup so far from an Argentina perspective. And for France, I don't know, are they going to show up? Are we going to get at least one chance from them throughout this game? Let's wait and see. So let us know where you're watching from in the comments again. Still a roll call. Great to have you guys join us along for this World Cup final watch along. Just over half an hour to go in this game. And remember, a reminder, if you want to watch in the USA in Spanish, you can watch on Telemundo and on Peacock across our NBC family of channels. Pull up a stream and then obviously pull us up as well. And then we'll get to your questions throughout the game. We'll watch it all together. And if you're in the USA, you can watch it in English on Fox. As France come down the right, Koundé get into the byline. Can he clip a cross back? No, because that man there, McAllister, is back to block it. I think Thuram's coming in down the right. Get into the penalty box. Oh, an absolutely crunching tackle there. Didn't see who that was. Wouldn't surprise me if it's McAllister again. But Argentina for now keeping France at bay. But Koundé's got a throw in, plays it into Thuram. Tchouaméni comes to the edge of the box. Rabiot, Varane's got it. Plays it all the way back to Lloris though. So France in a good position around the Argentine box, and it gets worked all the way back to their goalkeeper, and just a lack of energy, a lack of anything really. Mbappe loses the ball on the halfway line. He's crowded out by 3 different Argentine players. Griezmann wins it back from Messi, but an Argentina player is down. I think it was maybe Paul, as Mbappe clipped him as he tried to win the ball back. But just kind of looked frustrated there, Andy. I think when you actually look at how little he's had of the ball, and then the one time he has got it on the halfway line, he's crowded out by 3 Argentine players straight away.
Yeah, this is not what the 22 World Cup has been like for Kylian Mbappe so far. This game is very, very different for him individually, for France as a team as well. It's been a little jarring to see. I mean, they still have no shots, by the way. We're 2 minutes shy of an hour played, and they still don't have a shot in this game.
It makes you wonder. Obviously, the reports out there that a lot of the players were struggling with illness for France. I mean, maybe as we get a shot
hear it
down
after the game,
that Alvarez has at the near post, but Lloris saves it down to his right. Good chance there for Argentina. But Alvarez, who has been excellent again and worked great in tandem with Messi, is runs in behind, opening up so much space for Messi to get on the ball. But yeah, I'm just going to say, I'm not saying it's an excuse, but they just look to be totally lacking energy, right? And it's, that illness has been sweeping through a lot of key players, and maybe we'll hear more about the extent to how that hit the France team and the France camp after this World Cup, because it's not something you really want to rely on here. And we just see him going more direct there, right? And clipping the ball up to Mbappe, and they drilled it from 60 yards to his chest to saying, control that, and he gets clattered by Romero. So I bet he's thinking, this is great. Thanks very much for that pass. He was offside, by the way. So it's a free kick to Argentina with 30 minutes of the World Cup final to go. So let's do a roll call. We got Seema in France. Nick Duran has joined us from Austin, Texas. We've got Alvarez in Illinois. Albania is in the house. Sharika Higgins in Jamaica. Liberec in Czech Republic. Rohan Thomas is in New York. Verret is in Denver, Colorado. Billy's in Georgia, USA. Venetian in Wyoming, USA. Sorry, Elias is in Jakarta, Indonesia. Nearly at the back post. Messi nearly got in again, but France did just enough to put him off. But great work down the left from Di Maria, who I think has been our MVP of the game so far, the World Cup final.
Yeah, a third goal for Argentina looking much more likely than one from France right now.
Absolutely. Layla says Chicago. Dimar's in Miami, Florida. Annie Lee Perryman is in Georgia, USA. All-Stars in Chicago. Andrea, it's great to have you back on with us as well for this watch along. She says, will you guys be at the next World Cup? I can guarantee that we will be at the next
alive. If I'm alive.
Yeah, we'll be live from everywhere. It'll be in USA, Mexico, and Canada. Obviously, everyone now, I think, is, even though this World Cup's been great, there's been a lot of focus in it's only 3.5 years time now. We don't even have to wait the usual 4 years. I haven't been counting down the days or anything, or figuring out how many days.
It is going to seem a lot longer away, though, without having qualifying for the U.S. men's national team, and obviously also Mexico and Canada, though. That'll be an interesting little quirk.
Yeah, it hasn't been confirmed yet, right? They have actually qualified officially.
Okay. But we also don't know how many teams or how many groups or how many teams in groups.
A lot of unanswered questions, but I'm all for keeping it to 14 groups, given the success of this World Cup, and then if that is maybe all the third place teams, an extra playoff round or something like that.
Really quickly, let me jump in there. Did this World Cup, with the kind of upsets and the rising nations, if you will, change your mind about going to a bigger World Cup, that there are more teams in that next kind of tier down that belong, one, at a World Cup, but two, can get there and compete and can really add something to the tournament?
Yeah, I think I feel very similar to when they expanded the Euros to 24 teams from 16. At start, I was like, I'm not too sure about this, but seeing some teams who really wouldn't be anywhere near it cause upsets in those tournaments. There's France clipping a ball from the left, but it's cleared once again by I'm pretty sure that was Romero. Yeah, it was, and he's been everywhere today. But yeah, what do you guys think? I think it's an interesting way to split it up, and obviously having 48 teams. I like that there's going to be more teams that we haven't seen before at the World Cup there, but it has to be for quality over quantity. And I think we've seen that. It's been a kind of a reminder here at this World Cup. As Argentina come on the counter, Alvarez has plays it in towards Alexis McAllister. Oh, but Hugo Lloris clears the ball, and Alexis McAllister got a little nudge in the back there, maybe. The play's waved on for now. I'm sure VAR will maybe have a little look at that for a potential penalty kick. As Griezmann's hacked down right on the halfway line as France tried to counter.
Was that Messi coming down the left? Or it's been hard with the 10 and the 20 both zipping up the field so much.
Yeah.
I think Messi played the first, and then the second came from McAllister.
So there another nutmeg pass that could have been an assist for Argentina. What a couple of weeks they've had, huh?
No VAR check, by the way. So France have come away with it. They're looking a bit more dangerous now. Coming down the left side. Mbappe, tried to play it to Griezmann, who made the run, but he couldn't quite find him. And now a long ball towards the back post. Jules Koundé is up from right back, flicks it past Di Maria, hooks the ball in, keeps it in play. Argentina thought that had gone out, and it had. So it's a goal kick to Argentina. But we're seeing a replay that Upamecano did just enough there to nudge Alexis McAllister off it. Hugo Lloris came out with a sliding left foot to clear it. But again, we're seeing now more and more times Argentina, as soon as they win the ball back, a couple of passes, they're in behind this French defense. And here comes Acuna for Angel Di Maria. What a game, Di Maria. In the comments section, let us know, as Di Maria, he's coming off with 25 plus minutes to go, but probably man of the match right now. Goal, winning the penalty, getting a huge round of applause. But Andy Edwards, what does that mean? Acuna's going to play maybe left wing, but just be more defensive, right? Tagliafico stay at left back and just give him a bit more cover. Sensible move from Argentina.
Yeah, it is. And I like how this is going defensive without going too defensive, because I do think that he will play much more advanced there, kind of as almost a wide midfielder, which we don't see in the game much more these days. And just there has been a little bit of joy for France down the left side of their attack, and so you get just that extra body over there. I think it's just going to neutralize where France are starting to come into the game a little bit more.
Oh, the ball nearly played through to Messi, but France clear. But Messi nearly gets
He's doing that thing again. He's doing that Barcelona thing where he dribbles, waits, looks like he's doing nothing. Quick pass and takes off, and he is gone, and they're looking for him. That's the biggest thing, is he can make those runs all day, but if nobody's looking for it and going to play the ball back, then it's a waste. And that's when you know Messi is feeling it, because that's when he starts to control everybody else on the field through his own movement, through what he's doing with the ball, through his dribbling, his passing. He's just so in control of the entire situation, the world that is revolving around him at this moment.
Look, we're at the point where at 25 minutes plus, there's still plenty that can happen. But won't it be something else, or could it be something else, given the way PSG's attack has looked this year? We could well see, after not somehow being on the short list for the Ballon d'Or, that Messi ends up just, oh, by the way, I'm back. I wanted one more. This would put him in the driver's seat for it.
Absolutely. Mex Art says it's really nice to have your commentaries. Thanks so much for joining us. Really nice to have you with us. I really appreciate everyone joining. As France whipping across, dangerous cross to the edge of the 6-yard box that goes all the way through. They keep it in play on the other side, but Koundé gives the ball away, and Thuram wins it back again. A little bit of pressure now from the France, like you said, Andy, down that right-hand flank for them. Just winning the ball back a little bit higher up the pitch right now. So, Argenis says something that in the comments here that I was thinking, but I didn't want to say because I thought you'd accuse me of bias. But if England would have played in this final, it would have been a much better game. They would have caused Argentina more problems. Discuss. I mean, I don't know if Argentina's attacking talent still would have ripped apart England's defense like they have done against France today. But I feel like the attackers, be it Saka, Kane, and others, would have given Argentina a lot more problems defensively.
So two things quickly, and I'll be as quick as I can because I know I tend to drone on sometimes. One for sure. I think the illness has played some factor, especially at this late stage in the game and the sort of desperation you'd expect to see for France. The other thing is Sometimes things line up. Again, you mentioned Nkunku with the ACL. I totally forgot about that. So you can add him to Pogba and Kante. France has been hurt as much as any other team at this tournament, and they will likely have more excuses in a rightful way than anybody else.
Is that a handball situation there? I just saw.
I thought it touched the French hand, but you could be right.
Coman and Camavinga are coming on, but I think this is probably 10 or 15 minutes too late if you're France. So I'd love to have seen them come on a bit earlier in the second half, but let's see if they can do anything here late on. But Cross came in there, and I'm not quite sure who it was who got up. I think Romero was around there, and France couldn't make the most of that headed opportunity. Was it Thuram, Andy? I think maybe got in, trying to head that ball.
Yeah, might have been. Let me throw a game out for us to play here. In what minute will France have their first shot of this game? Because we're in the 69th now, and it's still 0.
I'm going to go 72.
Nick?
Sure. I think it's coming really soon, and I still think this game, if you made me predict, I'm going to stand by. Both Andy and I went with 2-1. I think France is going to score before the game is over, whether it be completely against the run of play and total fool's gold or not. I think there's tension to come here.
Yeah, they're building down the right again. Koundé, they're snapping into challenges more, and handball, free kicks given against Enzo Fernandez, and France are they're not going to make the subs. They play the quick free kick. They're coming down the left, and Mbappe's got it to Hernandez. Whips it across, but it's cleared. Poor cross, and it's that final ball, final bit of quality for France. Just hasn't been there. They give the ball away. Upamecano, Rabiot wins it back. Tchouameni's there.
There are 5 white shirts between the ball and the next French player as well, which makes it incredibly difficult.
Tchouameni's coming in down the left-hand side, keeping the ball. But they lose it again. Argentina win it back again. No free kick given. Rodrigo de Paul was battling away for it. Wins it back. He's trying to drive on, but France get it back. And it's been, this has been interesting to see France now have this extra energy. And I just wonder, Argentina have worked so hard. Have they run out of gas now? Have they run out of energy? Because it's pretty impossible to keep playing the tempo with the intensity they have been throughout 90 minutes. So we're seeing them drop deeper and deeper. Inevitably, you always, we're going to get this. France are going to take more opportunities. And what we're seeing now is Griezmann making these runs past whoever's playing up top. Is Thuram's playing centrally or not now, and Mbappe's on the left. We're seeing the France midfielders making big forward runs to get in behind Argentina and just stretch them a little bit more. Mbappe's in the edge of the box. First shot. 70 minutes and 10 seconds. First shot for France and Mbappe. You'd expect him to do a little bit better there. The ball dropped to him right on the edge of the box, and he's drilled it over the bar, and that is their first shot. So did anybody have 70th minute? I'm not sure.
Fun game. You brought us one game. I'm going to bring us one. Don't look. How many expected goals do you think that shot was worth? Because they were at 0.00.
0.07.
Are you looking? No. Sorry, Andy. I've deprived you a guess.
That's fine. I would have said 0.02.
Yeah, I thought it was worse too. Apparently that was more expected than we thought.
Oh, wow. So Kylian Mbappe is France's first shot of the game in the 70th minute. Wow. All right, we got 20 minutes less, just under, but we know there's going to be a lot of stoppage time, right? A lot of subs are coming on.
I'm looking at the comments along with you guys, and now realizing, I told you one of the reasons I really wanted Argentina to win is I didn't know what the sort of Ronaldo fan narrative would become, and so far apparently this has been a fix for Messi and Argentina.
Those comments.
Total fix.
Enzo Fernandez with a curler on the edge of the box after more Messi magic to set him up. So, I see a lot of comments there saying, how many more penalty kicks are Argentina going to get in this World Cup? And they're trying to give Messi the title. And I just think Argentina have been really good in the final third, right? So they're going to just get mistakes against them given a lot. So don't really have an issue. I'm thinking back to all their penalty kicks. I don't really have an issue with any of the penalty kicks.
You know who gets a lot of penalty kicks, Joe's? Man City, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Liverpool.
Barcelona,
good teams, good teams get penalties.
France should have called up Benzema. That is a another can of worms in the comments section there. There was a chance he could have come back, right? He technically was still on the squad list. He was injured at the start of the tournament just before it, was left off, and then could have been called back up because he wasn't replaced in the official FIFA squad list. But obviously that didn't happen. And some reports out there saying he wasn't happy with how he was treated. He thought that he could have stuck around at the World Cup and been fit for the knockout rounds, potentially. So, again,
I'm not sure they needed that storyline off the field, and just the constant lingering of that question over what was a very settled team and very functional team throughout this tournament. I agree they could have used the extra body and the extra goal scorer, but he's also not been without, shall we say, controversy during his career as well. And so, who's to say if he's in the squad and in the camp the entire time that he is completely and perfectly happy with being there, but not playing, and then potentially upsetting what was a very settled team.
Absolutely. Just want to say, good question here coming in from Mexart. Who do you think is the strongest player on Argentina besides Messi? We're just seeing here Christian Romero stride out the defense, winning the ball back again, getting clattered to win a free kick. I mean, him, Otamendi, Romero, Otamendi, Di Maria, Alexis McAllister today, right? I mean, there's some real contenders for sort of secondary stars. I mean, we're talking about Julian Alvarez in recent games and how good he's been at opening up space for Messi. But Nick, just Argentina throughout their team, 4 or 5 players have had their best games of the tournament in the final, which is obviously great timing from them. So is McAllister the one for you, aside from Messi, who's really come through today for Argentina so far?
I mean, Di Maria, yeah. Today. I don't know. This has been a strong team effort. I mean, there aren't a lot of passengers on this team. I mean, Messi has attack-wise led them through, but he's also, one of the greatest to ever do it. They've got a lot of heroes who are going to go back home. And there's one other thing I want to say as we get into late in the minutes. I remember being, we got a chance here for Julian
Alvarez cutting inside, but Upamecano does okay to get back though and just put him off. But yeah, we're going to see a lot more of this, right? Argentina playing in behind, and France leaving a lot more players forward as Coman somehow comes away with the ball. He's having his shorts and t-shirt ripped off him there nearly, but he kept the ball, and Varane's on the ball inside the Argentine half, and he just plays the ball out of play for an Argentina throw-in.
So
that pretty much sums it up as you see a close-up on Didier Deschamps, right? That is sloppy again from the French. Got some comments here from Simeon saying Di Maria is the man of the match and the captain will hold at the silver. One Light says after this, the debate of who is the GOAT will be over. Messi is the GOAT. Lala says France won the last World Cup and it's harder to have repeat wins, though it's been done before. I think it's harder for France as well, given the players they're missing as well. We have to remember that. But both of these teams have had really strange World Cups, really. Even during games, they've been kind of up and down, and the start that Argentina has had, and France just never really got going apart from individual moments throughout this World Cup, and somehow they were in the final, right? Again, it's weird to say that you never really got going at a World Cup and you're going to potentially, it looks like, go home as runners-up. But Andy, I mean, that's a kind of a good comment there, right, about France. It is hard to repeat, and there's a reason why no one's done it in over 60 years.
Yeah, and I don't know. So I'm looking back through their group stage games. Obviously, the game against Australia was a fantastic start. They battled through against Denmark. They rotated for the game against Tunisia to finish, and they were convincing in those first two. But once they got into the knockout rounds, it looked like they went to a different level. They cruised past Poland. The penalty situation against England, it was what it was. But they were good value to win that game. Both sides were good value to win that game. And then to just cruise past Morocco, it felt like I don't really buy. So now I'm looking at Argentina's path through the knockouts. I don't totally buy, aside from the round of 16, that France's path was too incredibly easy compared to Argentina's, and that's a huge factor in this, because the Netherlands took them all the way to penalty kicks, had the comeback. It's just
chance here for Argentina to finish it off. Low cross, but Lloris claims it as the ball got in. Sorry, Andy, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where Argentina is a very difficult matchup for, I think, a lot of teams in the world, because they obviously have the top end talent, but they are such a hardworking, solid defensive team as well. And you put those two things together, X factors in the attack and just a solid whole team defensive unit. And even a team like France with an Mbappe and Giroud and Griezmann, who have all been fantastic at this tournament, can be slowed down and through 78 minutes, nullified, completely shut down.
Yeah. Adriana there says France should have lost to Morocco. Yoko said there hasn't been a game for Argentina in the elimination round where the ref hasn't intervened. How many penalties have been given to them? So again, a little narrative there that it seems like people high up want Messi in Argentina to win the World Cup for his legacy, etc. But they've just been a very good team. Nick said it there, a total team effort, a great unit, different players stepping up. Defensively, midfielders, France try to look to get in behind. Thuram with his pace, he's in the penalty box. That looks like it's going to be a penalty. Yeah. It is to France. 78th minute. Otamendi, that was not a race he was going to win ever. And he hauled down, I don't think it was Thuram, it was Colin Wane, excuse me. Wane into the box. And then Otamendi started pulling him back outside the box. And then inside the box, he had to make that challenge to stop him getting in on goal. But that all came from Mbappe just being more direct, just kind of clipping the hopeful ball forward, right? And
Argentina have done a great job of not putting Nicolas Otamendi in that situation at this tournament at all. That has been Christian Romero's job, defend in space, and Otamendi is sweeping up behind and dealing with balls in the air. And so that's just not the, and as we know from his days at Manchester City, that's not the challenge you want him going in on.
No, definitely not. And who's going to step up? Kylian Mbappe for France to make it 2-1 with well over 10 minutes plus stoppage time to go in this World Cup final. Mbappe against Emi Martinez. Mbappe down low. Goal. 2-1. France are going to go back, and they pan to the director's box, and the French president, Emmanuel Macron, is pumping the air in delight and pointing.
See the look on his face?
That was brilliant. It was like he took the penalty himself. Mbappe wasn't the best penalty in the world, low and hard. Oh, Emi Martinez just got a hand to it. Yeah. He couldn't keep it out, but that is a good penalty. And here we go. This is exactly what we wanted. 10 minutes to go. Argentina 2, France 1. France now look like a totally different team. They're pushing high up the pitch. And now, we talked about it in the second half, didn't we? Have Argentina emptied the tank too early? Can they keep the pressure going? Can they keep being tense? And I need a drink of water because this is way too exciting for me. So, Nick,
please. I ran out of water. I ran out of water, Joe. No, how much Didier time are we going to get? That's what I'm thinking about now. It's not Fergie time anymore. It's Didier time. This is going to be intense. And I wonder if this isn't starting to set up a little bit, just a little bit for Les Bleus.
Oh, Andy, what about you, mate?
I think Argentina will get it over the line, but it does feel like it's shifting, and we're going to see them just start to really drop in deep. And at that point, it's not about tactics. It's not really about talent or skill. It's about opportunity.
Oh, here we go.
Bounces.
Oh!
Wow.
Yep.
Mbappe with an incredible strike. And in a space of 3 minutes, France has scored twice. Mbappe scored twice. And it's gone from Argentina 2, France 2 in the World Cup final. And Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, is absolutely delirious in the VIP box. The French fans cannot believe it. Lionel Messi cannot believe it. They pan straight to him, and he is.
I cannot believe it.
We cannot believe it. Absolutely incredible. And talk about being the Messi against Mbappe final. Wow. And this comes from Kingsley Coman on the right, cuts inside, trying to see who clip the ball. I think it was Rabiot initially. And then Mbappe plays a great 1-2 with Thuram, I believe it was, and then volleys it in down low. And my word, all of that hard work from Argentina, and Coman there just dribbled past Messi in the build-up and then started that attack. But I cannot believe this. In this World Cup of ultimate shocks and upsets, and Didier Deschamps has given it the big one on the sidelines. He's absolutely lost the plot. And the French fans are going absolutely bonkers in the stands. And Argentina fans are stood there in shock, it would look like. And Andy, I can see you shaking your head in disbelief, and that sums up how we're all feeling right now. Try and put this comeback into words.
Well, it's I didn't have it in the cards. I'll say that. And it's exactly what I was saying before the goal happened. Is it's not going to be about creating pretty chances. It's going to be about getting the ball into the final third as quickly as you can. And one defensive, not even mistake, but just getting wrong side of Kylian Mbappe inside the penalty area can cost you to that degree. It can cost you a lead in the World Cup final because he's capable of something like that. And to just get stuck on that left shoulder as he's tucking in, it's got to be the worst feeling in the world, because when he goes for that shot, I think everybody knows. I think everybody knew.
Argentina's coming down the left. Acuña's playing it. He's trying to get past Coleman there, getting on his right foot, edge of the box. Enzo Fernandez, a block there by Upamecano. My word, what an incredible finale to this final. And everyone joining us in the comments, let us know where you're watching from, where you're joining us from for this incredible, epic World Cup final. If I'm, in all fairness, this World Cup for on-the-pitch action, it deserved a final like this. Everything we've seen, from the upsets to the comebacks to the superstars shining. And I just want to point out, Mbappe, I believe, if my math is correct, has overtaken Lionel Messi for the golden boot with those 2 goals. So, and now here come France again on the attack. Mbappe's cutting inside. He's on a hat trick. Looks towards the back post. Oh, can't quite get the header on it. And it is all France right now. They are absolutely rampant. And in the space of about 2 minutes, it looks like no hope for France. Today are the team most likeliest to win this game 3-2 and win the World Cup final. I mean, guys, this is just absolutely bonkers. And they show a France fan in the stand, and he's holding up a World Cup trophy. And it's a bit too early to be dishing it out, but we got 5 minutes of normal time to go, plus potentially extra time.
Yeah, I will say this. Argentina have made just 1 sub. And so I'm looking at what they've got still. Lautaro's still there. Dybala, who's been fantastic, looks so sharp in very limited minutes so far. Yeah. Angel Correa could also play a part in a game that gets wide open and stretched. Leandro Paredes to bring into midfield. So there are a lot of options still for Argentina to make and completely affect and change this game. Do we think Messi would go 120? Yes. Again, can he be truly impactful for 120 this late into a tournament? I guess is the first question that I have.
No, it's a really good point. It's a really good question. I just don't. It would be such guts from a guy in Scaloni who probably should have made some moves 10 minutes ago, and that's easy to say in hindsight. But you're in a final and you've only made 1 move, and I'm not trying to scapegoat anybody. You made a better way of putting it. He had guys, including Papu Gomez, Correa, Lautaro Martinez, Leandro Paredes, even if he wanted to play a little bit harder in the game. And right now, it seems to me that it's about maybe keeping a guy like Messi out there, but giving him some dudes to enable him.
Oh, this is just, I'm trying to just wrap my head around this, but it is 2-2 in the World Cup final with 4 minutes of regulation to go. Kylian Mbappe has turned the game on its head, and it is incredible with 2 goals in just over a minute. And it's Argentina 2, France 2. France have a free kick. They're whipping it into the box. Argentina defending back there, whipping the header out, goes out wide. There's another little 1-2. France. Oh, it's another penalty, surely. Oh, no. They've given it for a dive. Oh, my word. We're going to see a replay of this, but
oh my goodness!
Marcus Thuram goes down.
Heart all the way up here, about to just come out of my mouth as we sit here live on the internet. This is
incredible.
As this drama goes, this is really something.
Enzo Fernandez comes in.
Oh, it's a dive. Oh,
that's a dive. Yeah, but you could. It was split. That is split-second reaction from him to pull his foot away at that point, but he came in with the hacking to clear it. and then Thuram has gone down, initiated the contact at the end, and that's a really good decision from the referee. Fair play in the World Cup final with a couple of minutes to go. Could have easily got that wrong. So, wow. Nick, what are your emotions right now? And what do you think the scenes are like in Argentina? I'm thinking in the streets of Buenos Aires and the streets of Paris. Talk about contrasting moods and emotions right now.
I was going to earlier kind of started to talk about this before the mayhem happened. I used to share season tickets to Toronto FC, and I drove up. It's about an hour and a half from Buffalo in the summer, and River Plate came to play, and I got to experience that passion for the sport, for the history of the sport, for what it means to them. And I imagine it's the nerviest place you've ever been in your life. And to flip it onto the other side, Macron, whether you like politicians or not, I know most people don't, seeing someone of that stature who has been dealing with, the stakes of a war in Europe and inflation, the economy, all this stuff. Do you see how into a sporting event he was? Just shows you the fabric of this sport in our world. I mean, he looked like a 6-year-old kid who just got whatever he wanted under the Christmas tree.
Oh, absolutely. Incredible scenes across the stadium in the World Cup final. It's now 90 seconds until the end of regulation. French fans are delirious. There's a bit of a stop in play here. I'm just trying to see who's down with an injury. It's a
French player.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who is down. Rabiot, yeah, looked like Rabiot. Got a bit of Alvarez headed into the back of the head. Nasty whack to the head there. But yeah, just contrasting emotions. All right, here's some comments coming in here. Guys, who do you think is going to win? That is from Star Wars. Yeah, at this point, I've given up predicting anything to this World Cup.
Yeah. Let's go through the situations. If somebody scores before the end of regular time, it's going to be France. It feels like if somebody scores in extra time, might also be France. Argentina's best bet at this point, is it penalties?
So here's the thing. I actually would flip that a little bit. I think you're right on France, and maybe even in the second.
Dangerous free kick right on the edge of the box for France as the clock is just about to tick 90 minutes. And just going to say, oh, no, it's not. It's going out for a throw in now. Do excuse me, getting caught up in it all. But there's a cross coming in. Argentina clears. But Nick, go ahead, mate.
No, I think the second, if it gets to extra time, the second spell lines up well for France. But Argentina really needs to have a talk. They need to have a talk. And I think just getting to the break here, it looks like 8 minutes of stoppage.
8 minutes of stoppage time in the World Cup final.
So I would go the next 8 minutes is all Argentina or all France. The next 15, maybe Argentina, and then it's France again, is how I would bet it would go.
Oh, it's incredible. And just seeing some of the images coming through of contrasting emotions. Mbappe flicks it out wide. Offside decision. But you've got Messi kind of down on the hands on his knees, hunched over as that second goal went in for France. And then the reaction from Mbappe and the delight on his face. PSG teammates, talisman of their two countries. Mbappe smiling now as we enter the second minute of stoppage time. And the Argentine fans are trying to get their team some energy, get them going. But Andy, understandably so, they look just a bit all over the place right now and a bit jaded, don't they, the Argentine players?
Yeah, mentally, they have been punched in the face, and they did not expect to get punched at the point that it came. And again, they have the subs, they have the options off the bench to change this game and to kind of retake control of it. But they have been I think the sub from Scaloni earlier was probably wrong. It seemed smart at the time, give a little bit of extra defensive help out wide because that's where France were having some of the joy. But what it did, I think, in the end, is it just opened up the middle of the field. You took away having that numerical advantage in every single situation in the middle of the field, put another body out wide, and France have just kind of gone straight up the middle ever since then. And so I'm a little curious as to why we've not seen a second sub from Argentina in the game at this point. Am I the only one?
No, not at all. And I was calling for them to go to a back 3 or a back 5. I thought that would have just kind of stymied the game and give them a little bit more. And they would have probably helped out in those situations where you had more centre-backs where they wouldn't have got caught with Otamendi having to give away a penalty kick, and you wouldn't have got caught out with some gaps and just plugging those kind of having a backfire. But we're in the 92nd minute, and Mbappe's lined up a free kick 35 yards out on the left flank. France have got all the big men forward. What's he going to do? He's going to whip it in, surely. Whips it in towards the near post. Argentina clear. Drops on the edge of the box, and they're looking to clear. But the big thing right now is France, once they've been more direct, Nick, they've got in behind Argentina pretty easily, right? And let's not forget, I just want to say, Argentina have been here before. 2-0 lead against the Netherlands. Got even more dramatic circumstances than this. That lead was cut back, and they went to extra time. But then Argentina found it within themselves to rally. They were a better team in extra time in that game. Obviously won on penalty kicks. So they've got some experience in this situation. But who would you rather be, Nick, right now? Argentina or France?
I'd rather be France.
Mbappe bears down on goal. He's got a shot, deflects, and goes over the bar. 93rd minute. And it is just now wave after wave of France attack. And Kylian Mbappe, after barely having a touch the entire game, has scored twice in the last 10 minutes of regulation. And now he's just taking it to Argentina. And they cannot handle him. But go ahead, Nick, before this corner comes in.
I'd rather be France, but I'd also rather be anyone but myself because I'm worried about my health. This is so nervy. This is so nervy.
Corner comes in from the left. Emi Martinez punches it. His France player's down at the back post. I don't know what he's looking for. Maybe a penalty. Camavinga plays it out wide. Kingsley Coman's beat his man. He gets to the byline. Cuts back inside. Oh! A foul. Play on, waves the referee. Rabiot, low shot. Martinez saves, and the follow-up as well. Nearly a winner there for France.
Alvarez should have been taken out a half hour ago. He looks cooked.
Oh, my word. Emi Martinez just spilled it there. Romero just looking at the I don't even know if that counts as a back pass there, but he somehow scrambled it clear. And now Camavinga dispossesses Messi. 94th minute. In the World Cup final. Looking on in disbelief here. We got a yellow card coming out. Is that for the Argentine coach? Oh no, for Giroud.
Giroud. Weghorst.
Yeah, he's on the bench after being subbed out in the first half. And just a message, by the way, for obviously it helps when you have so many great players and Mbappe in your team. But Didier Deschamps, I think actually with his subs, questioned the timing of it, but it seems to almost have timed it perfectly, right? In terms of Argentina just ran out of steam, and then they had the players on the pitch at that time to make the most of it. As Mbappe comes flying down the left, Romero can't catch him. He's in. Who's this? Oh, great challenge. And Mbappe's on it again. Oh, it comes to him again. Oh, it's scrambled clear. Down in the box again. I think it was Colomboane again who was played clean through. But it was a great defensive tackle there. Last cover in there from the Argentine defense. I think it was Otamendi because Romero was absolutely done for pace. As Messi's on the ball, 96th minute. Argentina have got 6 players forward. Can they catch France out after that counter? Coman's back defended. Acuna cuts inside on his right foot, the left wing back. Plays it to Tagliafico. He crosses it to the... Oh, and a good clearance there. And challenge from Rabiot. And France look like I cannot figure out how different France look after those 2 goals. It's incredible, right, Andy? The energy.
We were singing Scaloni's praises earlier. He's gotten it so wrong in the second half. He's either made the wrong sub, like the sub hurt them, I do believe, and then just not made additional subs. I don't know what he's waiting for. And I'll just ask you guys this: why does it feel like every single touch of the ball has the future of humankind resting on it? Like, why does it feel that intense and that important right now?
It's incredible. Nick, go ahead.
Scaloni's frozen. Scaloni has been frozen for over a half an hour now since the Acuna sub.
Here comes Alvarez down the left. He's cut inside Varane, plays the edge of the box. DePaul to Messi, 30 yards out, 20 yards out. Messi with his left foot. Oh, what a save by Hugo Lloris. Messi unleashed a rocket from over 25 yards out. Just a bit too central, maybe, to be causing Lloris too many concerns. But
what a game!
What a save from Lloris to tip it over, and that would have been an incredible moment.
Oh my God!
With a minute to go of regulation, we're in the 97th minute of the World Cup final. And even the way Lloris saved it, he kind of tipped it and it went up into the air. Looked like it might loop back down to the goal. But Argentina have a corner. About 30 seconds from the end of regulation here, guys. Who's going to be the hero? Messi's taking the corner kick. Everyone's up. That should be up for Argentina. France, everyone's back defending. Messi with his wonderful left foot whips it in with a corner from the left. Edge of the box. France clear. And now can they spring a counter? Oh, Koeman's on it. There's a foul given. Why did they not play the advantage? Oh, it's a yellow card. But France was stopped on a counter-attack there. I think Kingsley Coman actually could have kept going there, but the referee blew his whistle to stop a 3-on-2 situation for France. And oh my word, this is the gift that just keeps on giving. Accepted you from Argentina or France, because I cannot imagine what this is like for you guys watching this game. But the ball's come out to the right. Jules Koundé gets it. Kingsley Coman has been excellent, by the way, after he's come on for France. Cuts inside. Oh, he's got to the byline. He's going to whip across in. It's half cleared. Edge of the box. Argentina scrambling to clear it. Gets it to Messi. We are over regulation. He plays a long ball in over the top. Julian Alvarez, one-on-one with Jules Koundé. France again, players back. Alvarez. He hasn't got any help. Clipped to the edge of the box. It's Messi to the right side. France clear. Half clear. Oh, and it's cleared. And Camavinga, and that is the full-time whistle.
Oh, that touch from Messi just let him down right there. That was it. That touch is lower. That ball is out to the right wing.
Full-time of regulation. We're going to extra time in the World Cup final, and Argentina 2, France 2. Argentina were 2-0 up with 10 minutes of regulation to go. Mbappe scored a penalty kick. Then about a minute later, he scored a wonderful volley after France were just going at Argentina, who crumbled when it mattered most. And Nick Mendola, his expression right there is summing up how we're all feeling. Try and sum that up for us, Nick. Try and sum that up, because Argentina had nearly a hand and a half on that World Cup trophy. And then Mbappe and France had just grabbed it back. And now, if anything, they would seem like the favourites to win this World Cup, because Argentina, they're out on their feet.
This game is going to end with a name. I don't know what that name's going to be. I don't know what they're going to call it. And usually with the World Cup, you just call it the year and the final. But this game is one of the greatest games I've ever seen in my life.
Andy, you concur? Yeah, I mean, certainly one of the most unpredictable and thrilling ones. France were so bad, so incredibly bad for 70 or 75 minutes. I don't know how Argentina let them back. We do. It was a lot from Scaloni, but to find something in themselves to make that comeback after having 0 shots for 70 minutes and not even being in the game is very, very impressive. And Joe, I think you said it earlier, Deschamps did a really good job with his subs. He affected the game in the ways that he needed to, and really the only ways that he could as well, probably given just kind of the limited options that they have off the bench due to injuries and illnesses and subs already made in the first half as well. But Argentina have completely folded, and that doesn't bode well for 30 more minutes, of action.
The good news,
the team talks, right, Nick? We're seeing now that Didier Deschamps is in the middle of the French circle. All the players, they're tight, they're together. And they're driving. Even players like Guendouzi is not on the pitch, is roaring his teammates on. And then Deschamps has given a passionate speech there in the middle to his team. And you look on the other side of the halfway line towards the Argentine team talk, and it's much more spread out. There's players with their sort of hands on their hips looking around. How do we let that get away? And it's that momentum shift, right, in sport that we talk about so much, Nick. It's just why we love it all so much and why it's so unpredictable. Because I think if you would have given all of us a prediction, right? I think someone asked it in the comments, said, who do you think is going to win? And I'm pretty sure I said, we all think France. We all think Argentina. There's no way that France is going to get back into this game. And that was with 15 minutes to go. So just the rawness of these emotions right now just sums up this beautiful game so well.
I'm going to need a nap. I mean, I would say this, guys. I like to make a joke to ease my own tension here. I imagine that both huddles are just like in Step Brothers when they keep mentioning the Catalina wine mixer. It's just like, it's the World Cup final. It's there's a little bit of tactics mixed in, but like, if you can't get up for this, this is the World Cup final. And by the way, we could win a World Cup if we can play the next half hour better than those guys. Like, I can't imagine being these players. And by the way, I would love Messi to win, but I also wanted to see an entertaining game. And yet still, yeah. I'm not Argentine or French. Imagine being from one of these countries.
Wow. Imagine. And maybe some of you are. So let us know in the comments.
You can tell us
where you're watching from.
Yeah.
And just, let us know exactly where you're watching from in the world right now. I'm Joe Prince-Wright. I'm in England. Nick Mendola's taking his sweater off. He's in Buffalo, New York. And that could never be deemed to be a tropical and warm place, in all honesty. Andy Edwards is in Kansas City. It's our pleasure here to have you join us for this watch-along as extra time is about to kick off in the World Cup final. Again, I point you towards Telemundo and Peacock. If you're in the USA, you can watch in Spanish across our NBC family of channels. And if you're in the USA and you want to watch in English, you can watch on Fox as well. Pull up that stream, have us alongside, send us your questions as we break down I'm sure it's going to be a crazy 30 minutes here, potentially penalties after extra time if it remains level. But we're seeing a shot here of Messi looking nervous, Mbappe behind him looking to one side, and almost a little bit apologetic, I think, that he's taken that moment away from Messi. But at the same time, he's the hero in France right now. And get your predictions coming in. Let us know where in the world you're watching from. We've got Edith in Michigan. We've got South Africa in the house. Mario's in San Antonio, Texas. Arham's from Pakistan. Daphne's in Washington. We've got Maryland. We've got Namibia. DC here. Robert sending us some love. I'm in the airport in Poland from Timon. Adrian's in Kansas. We got Kyrie's in France. Let us know how it is. Kyrie, I can imagine all over France right now. It's got to be absolutely bonkers. And just let us know where in the world you're watching from for this watch along. We got Nevada, Nigeria, Boston, Toronto, Quebec, South Sudan, England. Sied's in New York. Jessa is in Haiti, California, Malaysia, Florida, Switzerland. Hello to Luis joining us. Gamers in Colorado, Malaysia. That's where Nathan is. Leaford Brown is in Jamaica. Ida's in Turkey. Hello to you. Manitoba is in the house in Canada. Malaysia, Tajikistan, Las Vegas, India, NYC, Singapore. Hello to Bella. South Africa, South Carolina, North Pole, Alaska, Virginia, Grenada, Texas, Canada, Vegas. Truly, Maui's in the house as well. Truly, the world is coming together on this watch along for this World Cup final, extra time, as Argentina are 2-2 against France after that incredible comeback by France. So, gents, how do we think this extra time period is going to play out? And thanks everyone for joining us. Let us know again what you think prediction-wise. Are France going to win? Are Argentina going to win? Is it going to go to penalties? Are we going to have that excruciating penalty kick shootout in the World Cup final? But Nick Mendola, my friend, how do you think this extra time is going to play out? Do you think we're going to see Argentina settle themselves and just calm down a bit? Because they're on the ball here 30 yards out from goal, and they already look a little bit more calm at the start of extra time.
Yeah, I think so. I'd like to start my little thing here as we get a cross coming in from the left. I'd like to start by I took 9 years of French in school, so I'm just going to try something for the people listening in France. Je suis désolé pour votre tension court. I'm sorry for your heart pressure, as I believe what I just said. It didn't sound right, I know, but again, 9 years. I just feel for these people. I don't know what I'm going to do if this goes to penalties. I will say this: I am now firmly, now that we're in extra time and we've gotten the game we wanted, and I'm fully team Messi. I think I want Messi to come away from this. We've got the great game.
He's on the ball as a slip from Camavinga lets him in, but Camavinga does really well to recover and win a free kick as Messi hacked him down. So I think the neutrals out there, Nick, are with you as well on that. Messi and Andy, if he was, let's just say hypothetically, France were to win an extra time and win on penalties, if they were to lose in this way after being 2-0 up with 10 minutes of the game to go, that would be really harsh to see Messi go through that, right? Given everything he's gone through. So again, I know it's a sport, it's football, but some things are bigger, and there's a lot of people out there right now, whether they're Argentine or not, want them to win the World Cup for Lionel Messi. So that would seem particularly harsh and over the top if France were to beat them.
I don't want to think about that right now at this point, because I know what the discourse will become as soon as the game is over, and it will have so very little to do with Lionel Messi choked, and the fact that the coach, didn't give any subs for fresh legs in the midfield where they had worked so hard, that he didn't put an extra body back into the midfield when France said, oh, there's a wide open lane up the middle of the field. We're just going to continue to run down that. And they've gone direct in a different way than the Netherlands did. Netherlands did it with long balls up over the top, and Argentina couldn't win it in the air, and they couldn't win the second balls. France have done it just by playing those balls into the channel and straight in behind the back line. And I don't understand what Argentina are doing, pushing up as far as they've done, because with Romero and Otamendi, not the fleetest of foot at center back, and they're just leaving all kinds of space in there that France are thriving on at the moment.
And the sub now, the Montiel sub is, I get it, it's hard to run with Mbappe the whole time, but to only make that sub, it feels like he's expecting to go a half an hour without giving up another goal. And I was talking for the first half hour of this game about how he's going to be the hottest name in management. And now I'm like, is he going to become a scapegoat for an entire country?
He is. At least right now he is.
Substitute here for France. Rabiot's coming off, to be fair. He's run himself into the ground and had, the illness and missed the semi-final. So, distance covered 11.4 kilometers, pass completion 84%. He's had a really good tournament, really strong tournament. And Fofana's coming on. Did a really good job in the semi-final, right? Just to kind of come in that part of the tournament where he hasn't played a lot of minutes. France right now showing their ridiculous squad depth off. And I said before, actually, that, didn't have many options on the bench, but anyone who's come on today for France has made a big difference, be it Camavinga now getting on the ball, Fofana holding things up. That's it. That'll be his job coming on. But Colomuani and Thuram made a big difference. Two, obviously, guys who aren't really superstars, right, in their own right. But, it looks now like the best decision to not bring Benzema back in, right, to the fold. And France had gone direct. Mbappe, he was offside. But Romero, again, left a little bit on him with that challenge.
Look, I don't know why Fernandes
Mbappe's down, getting an injury. Okay.
Fernandes has been wonderful in this game, but Rabiot just came off with a yellow, and I wonder if that's not the move. Acuna has one as well. He's now played only a half an hour, but I don't know. I don't think Argentina could sustain being down a man, and this game is on the territory of where you could see a yellow card on every single foul at this point, because it has been chippier than we thought. So again, are they going to finish this game? Are they going to finish this frame of extra time with Correa, Papu Gomez, Martinez, Paredes, Dybala on the bench, Lisandro Martinez on the bench?
Here come Argentina down the left-hand side. Sorry to cut you off, Nick, but Dybala seemed like the perfect guy. Acuna whipping in across from the left. Half cleared by France on the edge of the box, but it drops back down to Messi. Camavinga clears it. Good ball to the back post, but just over everyone and goes out for a France goal kick. But Andy, like we saw against the Netherlands, much better from Argentina at the start of the extra time period. I don't know what that's all about, right? It's weird. I don't know what they're doing in that break in between the end of 90 minutes and the start of extra time, but they seem to be re-energized and refocused.
Yeah, I don't think there's much that they're doing in that period. I think it's what they're not doing in the final 10 or 15 minutes of regular time that has obviously been the problem. And just, we always jokingly say, or at least here in the US, especially about the NFL, you scored too early, you left too much time. And it did set up well for Argentina because they didn't allow a shot for 70 minutes. But France were proactive with the changes and the subs that they made, and they brought on very different players and changed the way that they look to play, and just seized control of the game in a way that nobody really expected to. And least of which, clearly was Scaloni, because he did nothing. He just sat there and watched it happen. And we're 10 minutes now, almost into the first period of extra time. And there's still not another attacking sub, another player meant to come on and help to either hold the ball up and get it into the final third, or create something, or get on the end of a chance. I'm very curious.
Do you think the turning point was taking Di Maria off for Argentina? Because that kind of send the message out. Okay, Colomboani's coming in towards the penalty box on his right foot, cutting inside. Mbappe was just behind him looking for the little layoff, but Argentina clear it. But sorry, go ahead on the Di Maria question from me.
I think he had to come off, probably. I think it was probably known going into the game. 65 minutes is what and by the way, he did the job he was supposed to do as a starter in this game, and was going to be the player,
talking about
the
the job he's supposed to do. Mbappe just took on about 4 Argentine players, cut inside, and just ended up losing the ball inside the penalty box as he tried to cut back in on his right foot and go for a shot at goal. But at the moment, France they've won the ball back again, and they've won a free kick in a dangerous area, and they are all over. Fofana there is LA is the shout from him as he waves his arms in the air.
Andy, what did we say right when that sub happened in the 40th minute? It's about the press, and the press has been pretty darn victorious.
Yep. Yeah, and Argentina are playing into it a little bit by just and I know they don't have the personnel up top to, boot it, but there's different ways to get the ball out of your own defensive third without hoofing it in the air and without having to pass it out.
Free kick comes in from Koeman on the left. Clip ball in towards the penalty box. Argentina clear to the edge of the box. Comes out. A low drilled strike. Deflects back to Koeman. Messi's back there defending his own penalty box, but can only head it out for a France corner. A lot of spin on that ball. So France here recovering well after that early wave of Argentine pressure at the start of extra time. We got 4 minutes left of extra time in the first half of extra time, should I say. And Koeman's got the ball. He whips it in with the corner. Poor delivery again, an Argentine head on it, but it goes back out to Koundé, the right back. He's going to clip it back into the box. France are up. Ball drops. Argentina half clear again. Ball comes to Messi, but Tchouaméni wins it back. And I think there's an offside given, an offside decision. So relief there for Argentina. Relief. But my word. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from in the world. Lovely to have you joining along with us. This watch along live. Get your questions coming in. I'm Joe Prince-Wright here in England. Nick Mendola's in Buffalo, New York. Andy Edwards is in Kansas City. Let us know where you guys are watching from around the world. Love doing this. Love getting together.
All right, here we go. Finally.
Latura Martinez and Paredes are both going to come on. That's exactly what they needed, right? And probably more. I would have made that change at the end, well, a long time ago, but we'll go from there. Here comes Colomboani down the left lane, cutting inside. He's taken out, but he thinks he is, but he's just fallen over. And he takes out and now it's a foul, and now Argentina can make that sub.
Let me ask you guys.
Frantic, right?
Yeah, let me ask you guys a question real quick. Had Scaloni made those subs, let's say 70-75, before either of the France goals, do we think it would have played out differently? And 2, would the narrative had France scored been that Scaloni blew it by bringing on and being too attacking and bringing on attacking subs, when we already also know that by doing nothing and being too scared and defensive that they gave up the 2 goals anyway? It feels like one of those things where it might have worked out to be able to keep the ball and to create chances the other way and keep France under pressure once the game started to shift the other direction. But obviously there's the fear, I think, as a coach that, well, if I do this and it doesn't work, that looks way worse than if I do nothing and it doesn't work, because it is such an aggressive move and mindset to have. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I would have gone to a flat back 5. I already said that. I just think that's what you should have done when you're 2-0 up in the World Cup final. I don't care if people then hammer you if you give it up. You did the right thing. You read this you read the room, right? You read the situation. I don't think there've been any Argentina fans out there been like, why are we going to a back 5? It's like, we're protecting a lead with 20 minutes to go. So that's what I've done.
A little bit of JPB here, because we had this argument during the USA-Iran game. And, we talked about that. We wanted them to get the second goal, little Joe Prince Berhalter.
Oh my word.
So
Negative tactically, but
so sorry.
got the W. All right, so we got D Smith watching in Oregon. We have India, France. Olaranju is in Nigeria. Hello to you.
Anybody in Scotland? I need some single malt. If you could just send it this way.
That would be nice. Johnny is in Venezuela. Got Taipei in the house. Argentina. Kevin Gorham is in Indiana, USA. Hello to you, Kevin. Alan Adelman, Pittsburgh, Kansas. There you go, Andy. That's not far from you, mate. Argentina. Mars. Kansas City, but originally from France, Malin. So again, Andy, another one close to you there. Valentine is watching in Montreal. People in France, Indonesia, in the car in Texas. Bert Wilson, fair play to you, mate. On the move and still catching the watch-along in this World Cup final.
2-2, almost the end of the first session, right? Here we go.
Yeah, yep.
San Diego, California. Joel Leonardo's in Arizona. Virginia, USA, Jakarta, Indonesia, Philippines. Hi to Leica. Helen Sullivan is in Thousand Oaks, California. Oh, opportunity! Oh, great block there. Oh!
What is that?
Lautaro Martinez was initially stopped by, is it Upamecano coming across with a wonderful block, and then the ball came out, and a Paolo Di Canio-esque scissor kick volley from the edge of the box from Montiel, which was flying towards the top corner, and Varane headed it over for an Argentine corner. And this will pretty much be the last act, first half of extra time. But my word, that is incredible.
What a piece of technique that was. Wow.
Yeah. If that would have gone in, then that behind camera shot would have gone down. Put that in the Louvre, right? Put that in the, well, maybe not for France, actually. Maybe. Corner comes in, misses everyone. And Tchouaméni, who has grown into this game and dominating midfield now, he gets on the end of it. Brian's in Indonesia. Alay's in the house. Arkansas, Manuel's and Lawrence. Michelle's in Guatemala City. They got South Africa in the house, New York. Whitehorse, Yukon, Canada. Hello to Noel Sinclair there. That is a cool town name. Merville is in Zanzibar as Argentina are in again. Oh, one long ball over the top, and Lautaro Martinez, just prodded it wide. Was he onside? He was onside.
You guys think they could have used the ability to just kind of play one ball into space and get in behind and create a scoring chance in the final 10 or 15 minutes of regular time?
That should have been a corner.
I think Upamecano actually made
it's a great block from Upamecano. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 great blocks in what, about a minute from him.
Wow. Deo Upamecano. I mean, there's a lot of people saying he shouldn't have been starting this game because Canate played so well, but pretty incredible, right? And Didier Deschamps is having a right go at his players on the sidelines there. He wants to stop those long balls coming over the top. So
it's going to pens, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, 15 minutes to go. Anyone just joining us? It is Argentina 2, France 2 at halftime of extra time. We've had 105 plus minutes plus all the stoppages of just absolute chaos up until the final 15 minutes or so of regulation. It looked like it was going to be a fairly routine Argentina win, and then Mbappe scored twice in 10 minutes to just turn on the crazy switch to a couple more notches, right, guys? So
guys, I just went through 3.5 hours of a playoff clinching Buffalo Bills game that went to the final minutes against a rival. I don't know that I'm equipped to be breathing right now. I am like, I need a paper bag.
Why do we do these things to ourselves with sports? You know, we get so wrapped up and invested in them, knowing that things that you know, that it's going to take, it's got to be taking years off our life now. And we just willingly walk straight into it and say, let's do it.
We're on it together. We're on it together. We're on it together in the comments as well. So David is joining us from the Solomon Islands. I'm pretty sure that's a first for us on our watch along. So hello to the Solomon Islands. South Africa, we got Kansas City again. May the best team win, 22 Tango says, and they're watching from Oregon. Zanzibar, which is really cool. That's a place I want to go and visit for sure. And then, just so many people from all over the world tuning in. So thanks so much. A reminder. Macron's got his his suit jacket's off now. He's just got the shirt and tie. He's gone down. The tie will be off if it goes to penalty kicks, I'm sure. But to everyone watching in the USA, in Spanish, you can watch on Telemundo and on Peacock. Pull up a stream. Join us. We will answer any questions and go through this together as a group, as a unit. We'll do this together for the rest of extra time and then maybe penalties. And if you're in the USA, you can watch in English on Fox. Just a reminder to everyone. We got
Solomon Islands would have been in the playoff for a 48-game tournament or 48-team tournament, by the way. I did that math the other day. The 6-team tournament to decide the 2 extra teams looked pretty fun.
Yeah.
Pretty fun.
Yeah, looking forward to that. We've got Nepal. We've got St. Louis in the house, Florida, Alabama.
Go Bills.
David Freeman. Noah Dixon's in Delaware. We've got India, Costa Rica, Sumi. I know that's Finland. I know that's how they say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. Scotland. Hey, we have someone in Hector Felix is in Scotland. So he's going to say, I'll send you some. Send you some CMOS. So there you go. Wow. South Africa, Argentina, Nigeria, Tanzania, Virginia. My word. Iceland, Bulgaria, Argentina. Let's go. Incredible to see everyone coming together on this watch along, wherever you're watching. So as you can see there, the score at the bottom, Argentina 2, France 2, 107th minute. Argentina have been much better in extra time. They've recovered from that crushing blow. I'm just going to keep reading out. Morocco, Nepal, Vietnam, Sacramento, Louisville. Go Bills in the comments as well for you, Nick. Dubai, California. Oh, man, this is great. As Argentina come down the right, and they're getting a lot of joy. Lloris tips it out for a throw-in, but they're getting a lot of joy with these long, direct balls now, Nick Mendola. Why do you think that? They've changed their approach, right? As wrong as Scaloni got it with not having the subs, he's done something here to, I don't know, is it just he's seen something to go more direct? Because what we got Camavinga playing left back for France and slightly out of position, obviously, but a low shot there from Messi that Lloris pushes out. Upamecano sees it out. I think Lautaro's someone was trying to look for a penalty there, but Messi with a low shot towards the bottom corner that Lloris I thought he could have held that, but pushed it out. But yeah, what's been behind this change in momentum back in Argentina's favor in this?
I think Paredes going in there, and even though we talked about Enzo Fernandez being on the yellow card, he's been able to be a little bit more adventurous. And also, I mean, sometimes it's just good to oversimplify or just simplify. Martinez has been active and energetic, and they've needed that for, as we said, about 20 minutes.
Absolutely. We got some love from Nairobi in Kenya, Ethiopia, British Columbia. Jen Gutierrez is watching from Minnesota and rooting for France. We got a big chance here for Argentina.
It's over. It's over the line.
Go, surely. Oh, it's Messi, I think. I'm pretty sure Messi's just scored.
Yes, he has.
The ball went over the line.
Lionel Messi.
This is the game, and that was coming. Cometh the moment. Cometh the hour. Cometh the man. Lionel Messi.
Poor
as a
Greasy.
shot, and the ball was just over the line as France cleared it.
I thought it was over.
It was.
Is it offside, though?
That's the question.
No, he's played to a different guy. He's on. Oh.
Is there something in the build-up, though?
No, he's onside.
No, that.
And then the shot came in the near post. Lautaro Martinez hammered it. It smashed Lloris in the face. And then Messi just squirmed it over the line. Oh, Lloris. And Koundé cleared it off the line, but it was clearly 2 yards over the line. So, yeah, the goal has been given.
We may, again.
Go
ahead, Andy.
Well, I was just how incredible the I don't know, the ugliest, scrappiest, least genius goal of his entire career is going to possibly, we'll see what happens in the next 11 minutes, be the one that is remembered literally forever.
Incredible.
I mean, we may have literally just witnessed the moment, right? The moment that goes down as it's him and Pele. And because I don't think you can compare between generations. It's very difficult considering even the fact that all the balls are about the same now and everybody's training, etc. But I think the discussion is between two guys if this holds up, which is crazy because I think the discussion could be there anyways. The man scored like 85 goals in a season, but oh my goodness.
Oh,
He's been in Maradona's shadow.
He just cut to the Argentine bench, and Angel Di Maria has lost it. He's in tears, sobbing uncontrollably. The emotion now, these Argentine players, the fans, and we are 10 minutes away from Lionel Messi scoring the World Cup winning goal in extra time against France. And just incredible. Let us know in the comments section how you're feeling. And Martinez was onside by basically the backside, I think, of Rafael Varane. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
And Messi's reaction, the emotion, just, this game, this sport. You just see it in the comments there. Vamos Argentina, Messi's the GOAT. Argentina, goal, GOAT. Messi, Argentina's on top.
Aguero
and they cut to
going
crowd and
nuts.
see Sergio Aguero going nuts in the crowd. Obviously, if it wasn't for his health conditions that forced him to retire early, he'd probably be out there right now, right? Or at least be in the squad, you would think. And he's Messi's good friend, been through the ranks together. So, wow, what a moment.
No one is ever going to forget this game. Whether it finishes right now at 3-2, it's memorable, for a lifetime, or there's another twist and turn and France score again and it gets even more so. Like, this is, we build this up so big. We build this up to be impossibly good today. And it's been better.
And also we built up to be Messi against Mbappe, and they both scored 2 goals each. And
sports are the best, guys. I love sports so much.
Andy, guys, I just want to point this out. I don't want to say my brother bet on the Golden Boot, but maybe someone's brother bet on the Golden Boot and texted them right after Messi took the 1 goal, 1 assist advantage. And I might have said, nah, dude, you're fine. You don't have to cash out. So if that happened,
wise man, Nick.
Yeah. Guys, Messi has 98 goals in 172 caps. Maradona only played in 91. He had 34 goals. The ratio is a little bit different, but it's amazing that this trophy is the reason that Messi has been chasing Maradona's godlike status, hand of godlike status. This trophy is the most important trophy in the world. I mean, should we just say that this is the sport that dominates our world? And, in your individual country, of course, we can point to the Champions League, we can point to the Premier League trophy, but this is only available every 4 years. If this tournament was played every year, we wouldn't be as intense as we are right now. Is there another one? Is there another trophy that means more in the world?
I don't think so. I really don't think so. This is just incredible. And seeing the images of Messi's ecstasy, Lloris kind of so disappointed at that effort going in. And that ball just smashed Lloris straight in the face, didn't it? He had no idea what was going on there with the shot was hit that hard. But seeing all the comments coming in, obviously a lot of love for Messi. France are on the attack here down the left. Camavinga striding forward, 6 minutes to go. Oh, and that is an absolute scything tackle there from Romero. And he's gone down. I think he's tried to... Is it Romero? Paredes, sorry.
It would fit if it was Paredes.
Yeah. That is a bad tackle. And it almost looked like he kicked Camavinga while he was on the floor a little bit. There was a little bit of afters, or I don't know. There's a melee involving a lot of players from both teams getting involved. There's a yellow card coming from Paredes here. And France have a free kick about 45 yards out on the left flank, which they're going to whip in. And let's see if they can do anything with it. Oh, bit of respite in the game there for us, lads. But Kingsley Coman's on the ball. He's going to whip in this free kick towards the back post, I assume. That's what they've been doing and where they've been getting some joy. Whips it in, clips it in, hangs it up there. France win it. Half clears. There's about 4 different players went down in the box looking for a penalty, it looked like. Koundé has got it on the right. Oh, bad pass. Bad pass from Koundé, but France win it back. I think there's a lot of tiredness creeping in now. He hooks it forward. Oh, France are in down the right here. And they've won a corner. They've won a corner. 25th minute, the 115th minute of this epic World Cup final.
I'm going to wait till after the corner, but I have a would you rather question, depending on what happens for you guys.
Oh yeah,
or it's more of a would Didier. I'll ask now. Would Didier Deschamps having the chance to have one player healthy that was hurt, would it have been Conte or Pogba? Given what we see them missing right now, I think it's clearly midfield has been the biggest issue. Midfield experience. Conte?
Yeah, I think so.
Conte of 2 years ago for sure, but I think right now it's a little bit, but
yeah.
I think it would have kept them in the game, right? It would have kept. They would not have been 2-0 down. I don't think if N'Golo Conte was there. Okay, corner's coming in from the right. Coleman whips it in towards the penalty spot. Oh, Mbappe's on it on the edge of the box. Oh, drills it. They're looking for a handball, and I think they've given a penalty kick.
Oh, I was going to say it's outside the box.
Is it outside the box?
Penalty.
Oh, it's a penalty.
No.
Penalty.
That's a penalty
They're
kick.
screaming penalty. He pointed penalty.
In the box, there's a penalty kick. And we got a chance of Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah. It wasn't the first defender. It was Montiel who was standing. It wasn't the one who slid in outside of the box.
Kylian Mbappe to score a hat-trick. And they've cut to the bench, and poor old Di Maria is sobbing his heart out. And he is probably doing exactly what every Argentine person on this planet is doing right now. There's a lot of gamesmanship going on. The French fans there look very nervous, even though they know their side's got a chance here. The Argentina fans cannot believe it. They were less than 4 minutes away from winning this, and I just cannot believe this game. In the comments, I hope everyone's doing okay out there. Sticking with us. It's a penalty kick. Kylian Mbappe is about to step up for the second time today against Emi Martinez. We've seen situations like this. Can he keep his cool? Can he do what Harry Kane didn't with the second penalty kick and convert it? Such a weird situation to go against the same goalkeeper, penalty kick, twice in the same game. Mbappe's about to step up. The referee's blown his whistle. Mbappe's stepping up. And he scores! 3-3. This epic, epic World Cup final delivers yet another incredible twist and turn. And Kylian Mbappe scores a hat-trick in the World Cup final to make it 3-3. Emmanuel Macron, it looks like a kid in a sweet shop. He's applauding. He is literally loving life right now, like all of France is. And Mbappe,
you cannot convince me this is a World Cup final. You cannot convince me that this game is playing out in the biggest moment in sports in the entire world, because it does not do this. It is not supposed to be like this. It's not supposed to be this good or fun.
Oh, this is incredible. Someone's Nick, sum this up right now.
I can't swear, so honestly, this has been I mean, the first 45 minutes we were trying to figure out what was going on, so I guess I could still use this, but this has been almost 2 full hours of WTF.
That is the best way to put it. Oh, but here comes Messi on the ball. He's striding towards goal. Tries to wriggle past 3 tackles. Koundé slides in. Oh, my word. Argentina have got the ball out on the left. Can they make one more goal, one more comeback? And it's a corner kick to Argentina in the 119th minute. Surely, this is just absolute chaos.
I'd be shocked if we don't see Dybala come on before the shootout, right? Because they've got 1 sub left.
This is just chaos. Oh, man.
No, they've got 2 sub. Yes, they've got 1 sub left. Excuse me.
Corner's coming in. Messi whips it in. Oh. Is there a hero for Argentina? Oh, so many players nearly got on the end of it. But France clear. Didier Deschamps looks nervous on the sidelines.
France hasn't been to pens in this tournament, correct? Yes. So would you rather have the Would you ever
France,
have?
though, they might not need penalty kicks. They're striding forward down the left-hand side. That man Mbappe, surely he can't score a fourth. He's cutting inside, whips it a great cross. Oh! Oh my word!
Oh,
Just cannot get on the end of it.
wow!
I'm trying to see who was actually. Oh, it's Moane. Literally, with probably the last attack of the game, 8 yards out. You could see the despair on his face. He couldn't
3 minutes.
stretch his neck muscles enough to
3.
get his header on it. And the ball was, I want to say, that far away from getting on the end of his head and him scoring. And the cross nearly went in, right? Nearly missed everyone and went in. Oh, wow. This has been, we've had some bonkers games in this World Cup, lads, but this has been uneffing real, as someone said in the comment section. This is anything you want to chuck up story-wise.
You know the game is good when you just sit and kind of look at it and laugh.
Yeah.
Words, you don't need words at a certain point. It just becomes, all right.
There he is, Dybala coming in. Tagliafico.
Yep.
Could you imagine if he scored before the end?
Can you imagine if he misses his penalty? I mean, the narratives and the blaming and the scapegoating, potential is certainly there.
Just incredible. Kylian Mbappe, hat-trick in the World Cup. Stop Messi, who thought he'd scored the winner in the World Cup final after scoring twice in the World Cup final. It's 3-3. We have 90 seconds left of extra time. Acuna's got a throw in down the left flank. Argentina are just looking to keep the ball, I think, at this point. I don't know what they've gone all the way back into their own half. I think both teams now are just like, you know what? Nobody wants to make the mistake. I know it's going to be great to be the hero right now, but you don't want to be the guy who makes the mistake that costs your team, right? Just take it to penalty kicks at this point. But France are pushing high. Coleman, again, has been excellent since he came on. Argentina win it back. Lautaro Martinez.
What a neat little play. Yeah.
The ball was in midfield. Fofana is going to be challenging for it. Oh, lovely little flick. Oh, he's in. He's in over the top. Lautaro Martinez. Oh! Lloris saves. But the offside flag was up. Oh, saved me going there. But my word.
Yeah, he's off.
He was off. But that was just comical as the defenders were slipping, trying to clear on the floor. Lautaro couldn't get the shot away. And France somehow hold on. Oh, my goodness me.
I'm not emotionally prepared for this.
We're going to go to penalty kicks. It would seem like, unless something crazy happens in the final 30 seconds of extra, which could do, given this game and given this tournament. Long ball over the top. He's in.
What a save.
Oh, what a save by Emi Martinez. What a save to keep Argentina in it. And the counter-attack is on. Argentina come flooding forward. Messi plays in down the right. The cross is going to come in. Can they find Lautaro? Oh, he heads wide.
How do you not get that on net?
Done, we are going to look back on that chance for Kolo Muani, that Emi Martinez. But Lautaro Martinez should have done better. But what a save by Emi Martinez there with his outstretched left boot. Kolo Muani played in, flicked in over the top. He's clean through on goal. That was his moment to be the hero. He can't believe it. I don't know if the shot was going wide, by the way. When we saw the replay, it looked like it may have just been sneaking wide, but it looked like it was probably going to go in the bottom corner. And this World Cup final just delivers another incredible moment. As France clear, Argentina win it. Argentina win it back again. They're still going for it, head-to-head, until the last moment. Tchouaméni gets it, clips it out to the left to Mbappe, which is always a good idea. He's cutting inside, one-on-one with Romero, trying to get towards the penalty box. Gets back on his right foot. Does Romero. Does another one. Cuts inside another one. Oh, and Argentina clear. And Mbappe there just literally taking on the whole Argentine defense on his own. And that is it. The full-time whistle was gone in extra time.
Cut the effing trophy in half. Cut the trophy in half and let's go home.
France 3. It's going to go to penalty kicks. Oh, my word.
The last 2 minutes of extra time had, hold on, let me count. Three goats, and not the good kind. the 3 players that were going to be blamed for their country losing the World Cup, and I believe 3 potential heroes and 2 actual heroes in forms of the goalkeepers making just. We had an entire game's worth of action in stoppage time of the second half of extra time, right there. Unbelievable.
Just unbelievable. I just can't believe what we're seeing. Cannot believe what we're seeing. Deschamps is in chat, chatting with Mbappe. Giroud gives him a kiss on the forehead. And this is going down to penalty kicks. This is going down to penalty kicks. My word. My word.
Imagine I told you all this stuff was going to happen before the game.
I just cannot.
If I literally, we talk about what's your prediction, and if I would have went on a crazy classic Nick Mendola weird, well, this would have happened, and then this is going to happen. It's going to be a penalty. It's going to be stopped, but there's going to be and you guys would have just laughed, and then we'd been like, yeah, you're an idiot, Nick. Soccer, man.
Absolutely bonkers.
Football.
What a save. I mean, what a save by Martinez at the end there. Okay, so everyone joining us, thanks so much for joining us from all over the world, wherever you're watching from, this crazy, crazy World Cup final, which I think we'll have this discussion, will probably go down as the best, most dramatic World Cup final in the history of World Cup finals.
Might just be able to say games.
Yeah, just both teams now are on the pitch in huddles. Didier Deschamps is urging his France team to stay calm. They've got the plan.
The resolve of France to come back twice.
Incredible.
To come back twice.
Incredible. To recap everyone quickly before penalty kick start. Argentina 2-0 up at halftime, absolutely flying. Messi with 1. And then obviously for France, 10 minutes from time, Mbappe scored a penalty kick, then scored a beauty within a couple of minutes to make it 2-2. And then Messi in extra time made it 3-2 in the second half of extra time. Looked like that was the winner. Incredibly emotional scenes from Argentina, all their fans, all their players. And then France win another penalty kick in extra time after a shot was blocked by the hand. And Mbappe steps up, scores his hat-trick, makes it 3-3. And then there were still chances for Lautaro Martinez, for Colomboani twice to be the hero for France. And just absolute chaos as we're seeing Messi and Hugo Lloris here going for the coin toss to decide who is going to take first, and all of that good stuff. So reminder, everyone, if you want to watch the penalty kicks, head over in Spanish in the USA on Telemundo and on Peacock right now. Pull up that stream. Have our stream with us. And if you're in the USA, you can watch in English on Fox as well. Delighted. Joe Prince-Wright here in England. Nick Mendola in Buffalo, New York. Andy Edwards in Kansas City. We are delighted to have you join us for this momentous occasion, this penalty kick shootout and the World Cup final, which surely will cap off, obviously, one of the craziest World Cup finals in history, if not the craziest. So
looks like advantage to France going first.
Yeah, predictions. Andy, who do you think, this is a wild guess, obviously, but who do you think is going to win on penalty kicks? Go ahead.
Trying to see who's on the field currently. A lot has happened. I think it's Argentina. I like their midfielders as takers a lot with McAllister, Paredes, and even Fernandez. And I think you would expect Lautaro and Messi to convert. So I just think they've probably got more. They've got more penalty takers that I would trust to make one to save my life than France do, and that's the only method that I have to go by.
Here you go.
I don't know. I want to bet a little bit on Emi Martinez. He'll obviously be going to Mbappe set here to take the first pen, and third time going against the same guy. Is that more advantage kicker or saver?
Mbappe steps up. He scores, but
you got a hand to it again, I think.
Got a hand to it. Emi Martinez got a hand to it. But Mbappe scores his fourth goal, his third penalty kick. And here steps Messi. Is it a fair time to say his record over the years of penalty kicks has been a little bit up and down, even in this tournament?
Fair? No.
not fair, but I'm just stating facts. I'm spitting facts over here, Nick Mendola.
You are.
But it is not fair. As
I
Messi
don't
steps,
know that I can watch. I will, because it's my job.
you join us for this watch along there, Nick. Just listen. Messi steps up. Oh, what a very cool and calm penalty. Hardly even kicked it hard enough for it to go over the line.
You sandbagging son of a gun.
Hugo Lloris.
What's he doing?
Oh my goodness.
Could have easily saved that, to be perfectly honest, but Messi just faked him out there. Who's up next?
Now I think I can kind of relax a little bit. Mbappe and Messi.
What a game of chicken between those two. Neither one was going to be the first to commit. Messi not to a side, Lloris not to a side, and wow.
My human side's taken over, Joe. All I want to see is it to be a save that decides it, not a miss.
Kingsley Coleman's up. He steps up. Oh, saved by Emi Martinez.
Oh,
save. Argentina
right,
has
Nick.
the advantage.
Yep.
He's good, man.
He's great. He's so good. He is a big, I don't know about a big game player because he's not been in a ton of those situations specifically with Villa. But he is a big moment player, as any goalkeeper could possibly be. He in big moments, a big save from the spot, from open play. He always seems to make the play.
And you know what? He didn't even say it with his hands. That hit his chest and kind of always knocked his shirt off, but he was there in the right area. We got Dybala stepping up. Obviously, wasn't on the pitch at all for that long, but we know his quality. We've seen it. Looking fresh. Here he steps up.
Gosh.
Oh!
Are they aiming for Lloris? It's a goal.
Two of these penalty kicks. He's dived almost both of them are down the center.
They're both kicks were arguably bad penalties.
Yeah, from Dybala and Messi. But it's advantage to Argentina here after two penalty kicks each. They've scored twice. France only has one. After Coleman, it's very harsh on Coleman after I thought he had a great impact coming off the bench and was a bigger part of any in that France comeback. Yeah. And here comes Tchouaméni.
Yeah, and keep in mind Coman being one of the attackers that you would rate most highly to convert for them, and so that leaves them in a really tough spot.
Absolutely, there's a bit of a delay here. As Tchouaméni he's about to put the ball on the spot. Deschamps is biting his fingernails, as I'm sure all of France is doing right now. Whoever French fans are watching from across the world, Tchouaméni's stepping up. Emi Martinez is bobbing up and down the line, trying to put him off a little bit. Tchouaméni, and he's missed it. Oh, he's put it wide. He's put it wide. So Argentina, huge advantage for them now. They score. Mbappe can't quite believe it. Tchouaméni. Oh, it's a poor penalty kick, in all honesty.
Yeah, Joe, you were lamenting the fact that England, not in the final, knocked out by France, maybe could have done more early in the game. You don't want any part of this from an England perspective. Could you imagine being in this with England in this shootout after those 120 minutes of action in the game going the way that it did?
No, definitely not. And by the way,
we'd be hosting the show by ourselves, I think.
Did you see that celebration from Emi Martinez, by the way? That was Alan Pardew-esque, that little shimmy from Emi Martinez.
I'm glad Pards got a shout out during the World Cup.
And from Pards to Paredes, and he scores.
I think he thought they won.
But if my math is correct, then France have to score this one, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think Paredes was going over to hype up the person in the stadium that needs to be hyped up the least for this final penalty here. Like Emi Martinez does not need to be leveled up one more, certainly.
Martinez, if whatever percentage of our bodies are water, 100% of his is adrenaline at all times.
Incredible. It's just incredible drama at the biggest moment and the biggest stage. World Cup final, penalty shootout. Colomboani stepping up. Again, had some big chances to win it in normal time for France. And he drills it straight down the middle. My word. It's Argentina 3, France 2. Who's going to take this penalty kick for Argentina? Again, if my math is correct, whoever scores, if they score this, they win the World Cup.
Maybe? Who is it? Or is that Enzo?
It looks like it's Montiel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, why not?
Montiel, why not? Why not?
Oh.
Oh, wow. This is it. This is it. The World Cup final comes down to this. Montiel steps up and he scores. And that's it. Argentina have done it. They've won the World Cup. The scenes, the jubilation, it is incredible. They have done it. Lionel Messi has his World Cup. Argentina are World Cup champions. They are celebrating wildly together on the pitch. They've beaten France 4-2 on penalty kicks in what will go down as the greatest World Cup final in history.
It's
Lionel
a coronation.
Messi, he's in the middle of the pitch. The entire Argentine team are around him, hugging him. They know that this is for him more than anybody else in their country. But he's done it. He has his World Cup title. Nick Mendola, try and sum up the emotions right now, watching Messi get his World Cup and watching Argentine players celebrate
Joe,
after the final.
It really feels, it shouldn't. We talk about keeping things in perspective at all times, but it feels like a coronation. It feels like we are literally watching. He's waving to the crowd. This is, it's the king of our sport. It's definitely the king of his generation. And Mbappe will make his claim over the years, but it's one thing to win a World Cup when you're one of the greatest of all time early in your career, the middle of your career. This is the last World Cup game he's going to play. If you had any thoughts, a year after Maradona passes, an icon of their sport. I am not Argentine. I am a huge Messi fan, but I understand the tears. I feel the emotion. And now looking at Mbappe and seeing the desolation despite this man already having a World Cup in his locker, you realize what these 4 years it mean. And Joe, Andy, I got to tell you, it hypes me up for it coming to American soil.
Yeah, man.
And it makes you realize that if you're coached well and you're organized well and you're at home, you can dream of just about anything. So, heck yeah, man. It's a coronation.
Yeah, it's amazing because when you think about how much is Messi given to the world, right? How much joy and entertainment and just things that we have never seen before and might never see a single individual human ever be able to do so routinely that it seems like it's not a big deal. That things that you take for granted, and now to see in a roundabout way the world kind of give back to him the world's trophy, to Nick's point, to really crown him, and it is a coronation. It is nothing short. It's nothing more than he deserves. I'll put it that way. It might be short of what he deserves because you could say, oh, he deserves a second or a third one because his career has been that brilliant. But the fact that he has one now, and the way, for us especially, the ages that all three of us are, to have watched the absolute entirety of his career, the progression from the tiny little kid that nobody knew about with the floppy hair at Barcelona when he's 16, 17 years old, breaking into an iconic first team already, and then to, just take over the world sport the way that he has, and then go out like this. I said it before the game. I said it during the game. It's a moment and an event that I will never, ever forget in my life. And I'll remember every little detail about how I experienced it as well.
Absolutely. I think you spoke perfectly there, you guys, about the moment. We're seeing Messi here just hugging, Aguero's down on the pitch, the staff, the fans are going crazy. There's tears everywhere. Aguero and Messi celebrating, and just the scenes, I think you said there, we'll remember this game and this final for the rest of our lives. And I think in 100 years' time, when they look back on the 2022 World Cup final, I'd struggle to see that there'll be a World Cup final that will better this and will beat this. So I hope there is one day. But right now, I'm just glad that we got to do this together, and to to basically just go through this, I think, journey together. Three of us, but everyone watching around the world. So thank you to everyone who's been watching us on this watch along. Over 3 hours now we've been together for this epic World Cup final. France gave up a huge fight just to get it to extra time and penalty kicks. But there's no denying that destiny played its part here. Messi just being hugged by everyone, Argentina's players and fans celebrating as they beat France on penalty kicks again in one of the greatest finals, not just of the World Cup, but of any sport in history. This is a really remember where you were moment, and this is going to take some beating, lads. So everyone in the comments section, I can see a lot of love for Messi, a lot of Messi GOAT symbols. Let's go. Congrats, Messi. Messi is the man. Proud of Argentina. Messi makes history. Jay Smooth says, phenomenal job, guys. Thanks for your live streaming. Thanks for joining us, mate. Thank you as well, Minnie, for joining us. And throughout this World Cup, it's been a pleasure to bring you so many great moments. And again, on Pro Soccer Talk on NBCSports.com, we'll keep you covered all the latest reaction, the videos, lots more analysis on this World Cup final, the World Cup overall. And of course, Telemundo, Peacock, and Spanish language, they'll have all the post-game celebrations on their stream in the USA in Spanish and in English. You can watch it on Fox. So, guys, don't know what else there is to say apart from I really enjoyed that. We've seen history. Lionel Messi has got the World Cup. I think we can all say now that he truly deserved for what he's given us over the last few decades in the game. And final words, Nick, any final comments from you on what we've witnessed here today?
Just, it's one of those days that validates as much as it can in this goofy little existence we have here on Earth, the time we spend watching this beautiful game. And it's called that. And in my opinion, like I mentioned, it's a coronation. I feel some, it's almost the word justice. It's when you have an artist. Yeah. Maybe of another year, it would have felt better or different or whatever. But when you get to watch the final touches on a masterpiece of a career, not that he can't win something with PSG or another Copa America, but this is, such a moment.
Andy, sum it up for us, mate.
Yeah, I said my serious piece already, so I'll just leave it with this. Nobody's going to celebrate this harder than Christian Romero, and I just hope he makes it back to North London before April gets here, because that has the potential to tank Tottenham's season if he enjoys the celebrations too much, Alexander Ovechkin style. So I cannot wait to see the videos and the celebrations, and I hope that there is an opportunity, and this is something that I've not thought of until just this moment. Because of the season, returning in Europe, is the team going to go back to be paraded through the cities, or do they just have to? I don't know. There's a lot of questions. I hope that moment occurs, and I hope it's not pushed all the way down the line until the summer, because the energy and the passion and just the joy that must be, on the face of every single human in the country of Argentina right now would be really, really something to see.
Absolutely. And I think, you're right. It's going to be incredible celebrations in Buenos Aires and across Argentina. Assuming the team's going to go back there. And Messi, final word on him. He's looking up to the stands, gesturing for his family to come down and his kids to come down and join him on the pitch. And just delirium, delight, I think relief as well, across the face of those Argentine players and fans after being put through what they were put through, not just during this final, but during the World Cup. And I think this final perfectly summed up this World Cup on the pitch, how crazy it was, the twists and turns, the players, they were the stars. They absolutely balled out throughout this entire World Cup. And from the stories of Morocco getting to the semi-finals, Messi and Mbappe turning up and stealing the show in the final. And then obviously Messi getting his legacy-defining, shall we say, World Cup. It doesn't get much better than this. So, gents, doesn't get much better than joining you guys for a momentous day, a momentous game in history. So thank you so much to Nick Mendola in Buffalo, New York, and Andy Edwards in Kansas City. For myself, Joe Prince-Wright here in England, just a big thank you to every single one of you who's watched these live streams, watched our videos throughout the World Cup. We'll have plenty more coming your way when the Premier League season restarts. On December 26th, we'll be covering everything from across the soccer world. So from the whole Pro Soccer Talk team, from the producers, from everybody behind the scenes. Thank you to each and every one of you who've watched it. Getting quite emotional here now, thinking about how much we've been able to do throughout this World Cup. And and what it means to see these scenes. So, guys, pleasure as always. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll speak to you all very soon indeed. Cheers, guys. Much appreciated. What a day.